first, we're just going to check to make sure that we know what the techniques are. So I was going to have, so Dr. Silva, could you show us the Buddha Kabbalah and wrist grab releases?
Sure.
That's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on for technique. Do you want to do it for the camera or do you want to do it?
However you'd like me to.
Okay, I hear it's fine. It's up to you. If you want to do it in secret,
Yeah,
I'll just be I'll be a sports commentator.
wow, that's what a great image. Right? That's horrible. What like a technique off the.
Yeah, just show how to do Buddha Kabbalah.
Okay.
How to do basic wrist grab.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you want the wrist grabs first? Do you want?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Sure. We can grab a wrist. So
I have it now.
off our wrist grab. We're going against the weakest part of the grip. So there's one thumb, there's 4 fingers. Odds are better against the thumb. The thumb and the finger, I always say, make like a little bird beak. Think about like a bird throwing up. That's where you want to. That's where you want to head. So I'm just rolling and heading out against that line. They're going to follow. So if we don't block the motion, they'll just track us. Now they're just holding us with our palm up instead of our palm down. So if we track the hand, keep it from moving, and just roll, rotate. The more briskly you rotate and pull, the easier it's going to be to escape. Same thing, same side grab. I'm just rotating, boom, out. Pretty fundamental on that. You could add techniques, you could add all kinds of stuff to it, but those are the basic.
Okay, maybe we should just practice that a few times.
Yeah.
So you pair up.
All right.
Everybody else is more comfortable off camera.
If you want something, let me know.
To people online. As compared to the hundreds of people who are just off camera.
Exactly. The stadium full of people.
But I know that Jeff and Shallow already know about these techniques. I know Jeff especially. So the wrist grab releases, the one that he was showing would be push and pull. And then the head turn, that's going to be circling.
Anything myself. Yeah, it's really following it. Yeah.
And for each animal, let's start with
Depending on what you're doing.
with monkey. The things to remember for monkey, you want to have your back straight. Even though I was in the curve, my back problems and because my anteater. When you squat down, try to have your back be straight. And ideally, your feet are flat on the floor.
Following your back.
The question is like, how would that translate to a wrist grab release? What's going to be important for the power generation that's going to happen during the something that I'll repeat later. But I'm just trying to entertain the people online while everybody is getting warmed up.
Well, you can change it again to whatever you do. So, just go ahead and after here and then exactly.
Okay, great. We do have got some time. We got 7 animals. Hopefully it's like 30 minutes per animal. We're gonna see how this goes. So they're gonna do the head turn.
Todd said for you.
We're gonna ring Todd.
Bring their stuff in. So
One of hundreds that are just off camera.
so off of any entry, the physics that makes this work is again the rotation principle that Brandon was talking about is if I'm cupping, I want to rotate the head in. I want to bring it to my body. It's very hard. Play with a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, big, thick neck, no neck guys. And when you start leveraging out here, they can fight through, and it's a battle of your deltoids against their neck. So I'm bringing in to my center, bringing his head to my hip. Same time, I'm bringing the arm up, head down. Get a lot of leverage right there. I have the option of smashing him into the hip. I have the option of passing him through, throwing him to the floor. I have the option of passing him through and coming up, be behind for takedowns, techniques that way. So the rotation, or once I'm in on the shot, shifting the arms. So it could be the hands, it could be the elbows, it could be the shoulder. Doesn't really matter. The tighter I'm in, the better. You lock the head, now it becomes a break versus the throw. elbows, boom, shot coming through, passing through. But that circling motion, you want the counter force. If I just grab his head and I'm just wrestling with his head, not so much. I'm grabbing his arm and I'm just trying to manipulate his arm. Hard to track two parts of the body at once. So head's coming down and in, arms coming up and over, and I'm just rotating. You want to be nice, you can just pass them through, just get a couple reps in. You want to be mean, boom, boom. We bounce them off everything on the way. We want to be meaner. Uncle Bill would always refer to it as like falling down the stairs. You bump on the hip, bump on the knee, bump on the knee, hit the floor, boom, boom, bump, 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 bump. And meanest, boom, boom, in a trap. I'll lock the head to my body, and the rotation comes through the neck. Head stays where it is, and just snap. But don't do that. So, yeah, great mind.
But as long as we have like the basic setup, you need this, basic phase, right? Fundamental phase. And no matter what level you're at, you're always going to return to those same core principles. And the way the animals work is it's basically traditional vocabulary. To use fancier and fancier words, your erudition aggrandizes itself. I use those correctly. All right, so so you get warmed up and get you logged in, and then you guys just practice the head turn defense. I know I've done this with you, Brian. I know you have like there. You don't let Todd grab your leg.
So if you have a neck issue, the friendly version, up and connect to the head, gently just feed it through and around. Get the control with that.
It's so bad. Before practicing it, the guys had to lead like way too forward, so I just brought me on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to fall like extra head on this. Boom.
And let's forget with the shot. If you keep it and you rotate, you go as fast as you want. If you're holding this, you'll protect their head. Even if you throw them to the ground, they'll not slam them. So as long as you hold that, you're safe. Or me, you want to.
Typically, we have different rules. One of them is to escape an advantageous angle. But the second one, we're going to try to protect our vital areas. So when you're doing the passing with the circling, we want to be very careful about where we're passing to. When we do a technique, we're trying to avoid moving the other person's arm into our major arteries and weak points. We basically try to assume the person is armed. But then, this seminar, we're going to be focusing on the techniques, but within Etienne-Bach, we're always going to try and keep weapons in our hand, right? To secure the weapon hand, to make sure that we're not passing it into our vital areas, and to preserve the option to escape. So even when I had Dr. Stauft lock, all I have to do is let go. And I am free to move away. That's the ideal. That's what we're trying to work on. Any questions so far? Jeff or Shallow? I'm just kind of running through the basics real quick to get a baseline.
Yep, all sounds good.
Yep, we're good.
We're still having some people file into the back. We're now up to like 300 people. Yeah, they're still processing the ticket.
Traffic back up out on the highway getting in.
They're just quite shy. They seem to. I told them where the camera view was, and they're all being very careful. But alrighty, great. Okay. So Todd, I know that you here until 12, right? So I was going to start with an animal you would request.
Unexpected birthday party popped up, so I might have a little bit more time.
That increases your time?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Alrighty, so I'm going to start with one of the animals that you asked requested, which is snake.
Right.
So I'm going to talk about snake, and then I'm going to go through some of the 4 movements, and then I'm going to do techniques. That's basically the template I'll be following. Alrighty, so the snake, Jurus ular, right? Ular is an idiom for snake. With snake, I'm gonna go over the hands. If you think about a snake, right? You have like where I grew up, there are a lot of rattles. So you have like vipers that strike like quickly, right? And you also have snakes that constrict their prey. And so the idea behind Judas Ular is you're going to have basically these two types of snake. Okay. It's not exactly Linnaean taxonomy, but it's going to work for our purposes. So I'm going to try and keep some core movements from each animal. I'm going to show something that's like a bow. I'm going to show some footwork. I'm going to show some turning around and some movement on the ground. So I'm going to try and show similar movements for each animal, so you can compare them better. Alrighty. So the first movement is going to take the place of the bow. Basically, we're going to be in a sort of a cat stance or a back stance. But my weight is even. It's just that my feet are in the same place they would be a stance. This hand right here, this is going to be block 8 from our system, right? But it's going to catch and bring in, and then this hand is going to come in with the elbow, right? The elbow is going to go down. It's going to pass. The arm's going to pass down while keeping my elbow steady. Bring my hands up, and then I'm going to bring my hands down. Brush my thighs. So the way it looks. And that's going to be our opening movement. Okay. Inside. So if you want to think about it as like I'm right, block, check, move backward at an angle, right? This is catching the limb, pulling it in as I'm shifting backward. This elbow is coming in right here. You collapse the limb to fold it. You get this right over hooking it down. Here. So that's the first movement. May as well start with a semi-complicated one. Why not? So that's going to be the first. I think it'll help if I show an application for this. So how are your arms? You know this one, right? Yeah. I thought you know that one comes in, right? I intercept it. Notice I have two arms up to intercept his large arms. So when that swings in, right? I want to be able to stop it, but I'm not stopping it. But you want to be able to. So one more time. When I move back, see, this is the shifting center part, right? This elbow comes in. It's going to fold the arm. And this hand right here is going to come around to the chest. And now this can be very difficult for some people already, depending on your shoulder injury or flexibility. So I'm going to let go of that. Turn him around. Right? And the last part, I'm going to brush my knee, slowly bring him back. Right? So I'm going to do a couple of versions of this, depending on the state of your partner's shoulder. The first thing you want to practice is to fold the elbow and just put your hand on their chest. Okay? That's going to be the technique. So move back. We'll practice the movement. So every movement in the juru has multiple applications. So if you get confused about what it is that I'm doing here, it's that technique, right? You're folding the arm, moving them in front of you. Their arm and shoulder are twisted up, and I'm taking their head, and I'm bringing them downward onto my left. So that's opening technique. So let's practice that a few times. Everyone's going to practice the technique, so I'm going to pretend that's what I meant.
Did you do that in the
No, fine.
It's like right in the middle of it.
You guys practice on me in front of the camera. Okay. Yeah, you're holding on to it. And then you want to make sure that rather than
keep that elbow bent, just drop it down right.
I'm dribbling like a basketball.
Brain short. You're not, give me your shoulder.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. People. Yeah. It really is like, I'm gonna. Come. Well, this is here, this is like a workshop. If you bring this up.
Yeah.
Locking my arm out.
And see how you have me like that.
Or I
Take it
try to
forward.
turn it, because this is
I think
gonna
that,
be very
since
strong.
the day you would pull them out, that was still locked in. Right.
So-
Yeah.
You do it slowly, you can.
So the drop
From here.
when you're getting, think of like your hip. But that's what, yeah, that. Yeah.
It makes more sense. You grab. Walk it out.
Rotation.
First time ago, man. Yeah.
But the end, right, that. Yeah. And that. You get it back on lock, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
There, we felt it. I was going over here. Right, I was going before. Version though. Bring your arm out too early. You're holding the limb.
Or you're.
But it's not be holding. So we're gonna go on to the next thing. But again, I had to build this as 7 animals.
You get it done in time, you're a Silat master.
All right. So now, just so you get an idea, right? So holding, right? Goes around from here. Okay. The next movement is going to use zigzag stepping. So zigzag stepping is for a step out 1 foot, fly forward, not to the side, fly forward, not to the side. All right. What I'm gonna do with the blocks, right? This is a normal block jack. For snake, we're gonna keep our hands horizontal. Turn around, and then this, we're gonna call this under the branch because my arm is a branch, right? This arm is going under it, like a snake moving under a branch, right? Okay, and then we're gonna go over the branch. So I'm gonna move this hand under. So now this becomes, this is the branch, right? And then, right, branch. And then this is the right hand moves under. So left hand moves under. Right hand moves under. All right, so under. Yeah. The under the branch and the over the branch are a little confusing. Basically means one of your hands is going under the other one. And snake is going to alternate right and left, and it's going to move forward. It's going to do that again. If you can just move your hands like this, that's going to be okay for now. If you can remember, under, right? Step, over, then that would be good. You could also go under, over, and you can alternate the footwork, and you can do 1 hand movement with each step. You can do 2 hand movements with each step. Each movement in our judo is modular, and they can be adjusted
based on what you're doing. Right now, I'm gonna try very hard to be consistent. I'm doing 2 steps with 2 hand movements each. Right, we're gonna start from the opening here. I'm gonna step off to the side, trying really hard, consistent, I'm going under, right? I'm going under. Step, I'm going over, and then I'm going over. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn around. So I turn around and step offline. Turn around, this hand, now we're doing vertical. My right hand is coming in vertical, and I'm going to shear with the left hand and slide forward like that. Back to the beginning. Some notes with the snakes. Is the shearing. So this is going to slide along the arm. That's going to maintain that contact with the arch. All right, step. And slide. And then with the snake, this becomes the head of the snake. If I'm going to step down, my body's going to try and pretend that this leading hand is my head. I'm trying to follow that. And then easy, just 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, try this from different angles. Hopefully one of them is the... So here it's coming down, that I'm moving this arm, chest, and bring them back here, right? And back to the head. That's done. This way. Under. Stepping, I think, hearing, and then and then back up. Is there a direction you preserve, Pat? What's that? What are you saying?
Oh, no. Or when you spin down, you just enter that position?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. So when I turn around, here, I'm facing this direction. I know I'm changing direction. So I'm facing the door, right? So when I go into simple, I come around, and my hands are still facing the door. And this would be over the branch, right? The concept of moving over the branch. And then when I get back up, right, this is covering my head. And back up, come around, and then under the branch, I'm facing the door. I'm facing opposite direction I started. So then, if I wanted to, I could then do this on the left. So it's very easy for your body to just switch and then suddenly go without setting it. But it's great. Okay. So we practiced everything right and left, but for today, we just stick with the right side. We'll go through it one more time. Technique. Okay, you guys try it once on your own. All of you, 100. Yeah, people in the back, if you can't see, we have the huge screen up. Off camera to my right. We'll take a picture after this.
So after sharing, how do you do that as if we do that?
My left foot forward. Yep. I finished this one, right? And then I'm gonna turn to my right. Sit down. And then I'm gonna turn to my left. And get it. If that is difficult for you, short advice is don't do it. But you can step round if you want to do instead. There are other motions to take. They're easier than that one, to be honest. So we're here, right? If I want to practice, if I want to do the turnaround, there's another motion in snake where I chamber, turn, and come up. So you could substitute that one if you wanted to. It's not that right. Yeah. Front leg, chamber, turn around, and coil. That would just change the hazard, I think. If you do it wrong, you're putting more emphasis on your knees rather than your lower back or your hips. I don't know. I do have, if you have trouble doing this movement, I do have substitutes planned for a few of the ones that I thought might provide trouble. Yes.
Question, so when we go down on the ground, when we do this way, and then spinning back that way, when you come back up, face that back into right foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just,
That keeps me oriented so that I'm facing opposite direction I started. And these movements that I'm showing you, if I plan them correctly, we're starting in one direction. And then at the end, we're turning to face the way that we started so that we can just keep practicing it, you know, back and forth in a limited space. I've spent a lot of my time training Silat in small spaces like my apartment. So it's made me think about doing these animal movements in confined spaces. Which is, I guess, good for Silat. Silat is supposed to be close quarters. It also means that I can do the standardized Silat form in like 2 square meters. So this is about all the space. These 4 tiles, I can almost do the standardized solo form in this confined space because I had to practice it, you know, during the winter. In New York, I had to practice it. Closet, basically. So, you know, where you train is going to affect, you know, how you train, right? These are important things you might. Alrighty. So, moving on to snake techniques. Alrighty. Okay. So we're going to think about under the branch and over the branch. That's going to be the key, right? This cross hand grab. Okay. So he was saying about this and then moving, you know, in the direction of the weak part, which is the thumb. So snake is going to seek to stick to and then move closer to our opponent. So instead, I'm going to do this one. Right? So he has my wrist, bring it around, turn. So it's horizontal. You can either do what he expected me to do, which was to apply a twisting lock here. You do. Or I come here, right? Then at this point, I decide I want to release. I was going to do something more complicated. So it's the snake, right? So but that other one's pretty great. So maybe I'll just change my plan. So what I was planning on doing was coming up, right? I have this lock, but instead of doing this, I'm going to use that snake motion to pass. Move to this side, right? And then I can elbow, lock, and Depends on how seminar I want this to go. What we're gonna do is grab my wrist. We move back, we shift to center, right? I'm going to do this small circle here and then try to counter apply joint lock. Because this is simpler than what I was planning. And it's also the first step in what I was gonna show. Okay, I'm gonna go through and apply it to everybody. If anybody else wants to feel it on camera, I'm gonna Okay, so I need to move strong right here. So hold on, strong. Right? It's gonna be difficult for me to pull away. So I gotta pick somebody who's roughly my height, otherwise. So when I move back, wait. This here's the hand. This is gonna come around. So this is going to be the counter lock. The other thing, I'm gonna use that motion, but I'm gonna move it in a circle. So this would be the release. If he has his hand up, I need the other hand up. There we go. To do something to move over to the other side. I know that shoulder is hurt. So again, cross wrist grab here, and that's going to be the release. Or and then have this apply counter lock. So yes, so it's going to be like this. Little circle. Which is, of course, not one of the movements that I showed you in the judo spin. But it's in one of the pretenders. It was in the pretender. That's the slide. You shift that shifting center. Here. Yeah, you feel it? You don't believe it. You don't believe it. We're watching other people like, oh, he's pretending. No. Yeah. Are you okay?
And the back image is making it look good.
No, the other one. This is gonna. My hand is already there. This is gonna be the clear. So this hand's up, right? Clear, and then here. Okay, so practice with this cover grab. I'm gonna move back on camera. Do you guys have any questions about that? No. Y'all see it again? Closer. Wrist grab, right? He's strong here, but I did a little bit of a shimmy to move him back while securing this hand because Snake wants adhesion, right? And when I move back, that's going to buy me some time for the other hand that I know is coming. So this one is going to move here and this is horizontal, right? Maybe. And I can counter grab and I can apply rolling. To clear it, I could do the simpler thing that Mr. Sobel showed, but this is the animals. So I'm going to move the circle, and then this ridge hand here. Well, I need to keep my hand flat. This ridge hand is going to move the other side and clear it, and then this hand is going to come slicing through to apply. It depends on really on what this arm is doing and where they are. If that hand is just hanging uselessly at the side, this is going to strike. I remember this part when I came around, so you're going to use the steering push pull with the hand.
Right. Then it's either straight down or this thing clears this thing.
You need to choose between the counter lock and the pass. You don't get to do both. They use the same entry, but this one is going to do this, and then that small circle is going to be used to apply the lock, or it's going to try and wind its way around the arm to clear it. You have to pick one of those. For what I said about the two kinds of snake.
Right.
So this one, instead of going this, use that. That'll help set up the counter lock.
Okay.
Right, now you can apply the counter lock. And when you rotate, this thumb is in here. This is going to go here, here, and then you use that to push it to the side.
Okay.
I think there's like
like a sidewinder. A little New Mexico reference for audience that don't like that. Kind of like a snake type motion. Whoa.
So the reason why the drop will work because of the back. You
Yeah.
make any of the joint locks work, we will away from the center of balance. Turning has a clear. So. Hey.
But you can't hand-
You're trying to go back to the previous thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Was it make what I have that to be able to, instead of doing the shear load out like that, just pull further in? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Covers there.
So with ranging, the snake wants to seek zero distance. That's kind of the goal of the snake. So that's why we're shearing and adhering to the other person, and why we're trying to get closer. Generally, we're trying to approach and narrow the distance. So to quickly review distance, when I edit this, this will all be in proper sequence. Alrighty, so if you just hold your fist out, so this is going to be, we'll call this 2 units, and right, 1.5 going to be elbow to arm, right? 1 is either going to be arm to center or elbow to elbow, right? 1/2 is going to be elbow to center, and then 0 is going to be body to body. So each animal is going to emphasize different ranges. And so what snake is seeking to do, alliteration aside, to swing in, like he did with the technique, because I'm here, right? This is 1/2 0, right? I want to move to 0. By back, so if he grab a shoulder, right? 1/2 0, right? So snake is trying to seek that close distance. With the wrist grab, 2, 1.5, right? 1/2 0. Notice the foot trap. But I said that we have a even weighted stance. I'm raising my toe to avoid applying that pressure. I put this foot down. Yeah, that applies a lot. He tries to sweep me. Whoa! What? That's the movement I showed earlier. You remember that one? The alternative to turning around. Wait, wait, gonna. He goes to sweep my leg. Right? I move out of the way. That's one application for that one. Silat, we love the leg traps, right? Yeah, I love that motion because it's so terrible. Right. So next, I promised you head turn. You want to continue being?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the former.
All right. So we have different entries. Hold your arms out. Right. We have inside, right? Outside, split, the other split. And then with my footwork, I either have open, or my feet are open, my arms are open, or closed, where my feet are closed, my arms are closed or open relative to. Okay. So you can get into the head turn from any possible entry. Yeah, that's probably right. There's so many head turns, it's got to be true. So if he throws that punch, right, go block. Yeah, remember snake, right? I go here, but he blocks my hand, right? But we have snake. So yeah. See the shearing motion? Like you stop my elbow, but I have that extra rolling motion to help with it. And do you remember the beginning part of the form where this hand was up here? Where does my elbow go? Right, and we're not. So I'm gonna do that. Here, right? Gonna go to the side. So one more time. You okay with that? Sure. Yeah. Right. Got the hand. Okay.
we're gonna practice the first part of that, which is block, check, here, here, and then just do a head turn. Normal head turn from there, without fight. Block, check, here, right? So you stop my hand to push against it. And then I'm gonna use rolling to extend my arm and go to the back of the head. Here, so I got the 0, right? This is gonna either go for the choke, right? Or like the head turn that he showed here, go around to this position. And then my knee is bracing. So if he tries to turn his body back towards me, I can feel it. If this hand comes up between my legs, I have a sensor there, so hopefully it gives me some warning, but it'll just hit me right in the nuts, right? And I get a sweet arm break on camera. All right, so we'll practice that. The basic phase, he throws that right punch, block, check, strike, head turn. Okay, start with that. And then try to add the snake movement from the form. Do we see how that's sort of the same technique? It just ends up looking different? Yeah. So you think the circling principle.
Okay. Yep.
Requires the like courtroom artwork and then you show what's happening. Yeah. So there's two things there. One,
Yeah.
block, check, basic,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's going to be the core technique.
Okay.
Snake, block, check, and I'm going to close the distance with the foot. So his head is at the elbow. Retract the hand. That's fine. Closer. You okay with it? When I turn him around, that's going to turn him around. So you gotta like with the wrist sleeve.
It's like that tearing grinding. You're a snake going across the brain.
Right.
That feels a lot better instead of.
Here's a little countdown.
Yeah.
The branding countdown. One,
Block,
0.
strike, and then head goes down. Arm goes up.
And that whole,
Yeah.
for just that, with my motion through.
Kind of, and then we're moving to the side. You lost your lever and shooting to the side.
Okay.
So trying to.
While you're sharing,
Excuse me?
it's supposed to also kind of rotate again and around it, so it's kind of already years as you go through. I mean, you're already there.
I'm trying to find you. That's the. Yep.
Okay, yeah, just like what
I
Dr.
love the like
Sobel showed.
slithering.
Yeah. Exact same thing that Dr. Sobel showed. I've stolen it. Clearly, I've stolen it. I didn't.
Psychically communicated.
Right. Sure. So, when he comes over here. So when I was talking about closed versus open, so that hand is open, right? This, my right foot is in a closed position, pointing towards the inside of the
Oh,
body.
yeah,
right?
just
This
the.
is here.
Do the.
This
It's circling. Putting your foot at the back of their head. Where, like, if I get like a broken guy from where it'll muscle me there one time. Yeah, you put your foot there.
the closed open has to do with.
And you just sit down.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going. And then you have them right here, then you're like.
Where? Oh, you're right.
What's
Take
that?
this leg. Through. Right, so.
I'm taller than you and all that.
Yeah.
They don't have. I was just, I'm trying to make.
The weirdest before I had a spoon. Perhaps. Right, I'm sure. French. I can't see what's in the left hand, but I'm hoping that if I do it on the right hand. Turn in. Well, so you can draw. Sure, Daniel, there is. Yeah, you can do that too.
And you just get a little rock.
Yeah.
Your left hand. Side. I'm sure I had that. Warning. I tried to draw.
Yeah.
To the finishing blows.
When I do this motion, I like forward and then, so that I don't, so that. The back.
One, or two, if you get the foot.
If. When I'm doing it. Here. Lower body is open, right?
Yeah.
So and the upper body.
Now this way.
Where the arm is.
Yeah, sure.
And then, oh no, there's a.
That'd be nice, but you take the thing and
Right here. Coming as take the look.
pulling back.
Yeah.
In there,
Right, so.
like this too.
Presenting the outside. Like, half in front of me. So each animal, you're talking about a nose stamp, right? And then put one back. Sort of consideration.
Outside foot. Not down there. Like that. Like this.
Yeah.
And then go like this and set it up. But, here, hold on. When you go this,
Yeah.
come up and then set it like. Look at that.
How can I injure my shoulder more than?
No, this is the good show. We got.
Okay, so no, it's starting to worry me.
I can see that.
Am I teaching real Silat for like time? Monkey. I wanted to do monkey earlier. Early. I wanted to do monkey early. So we're gonna do monkey. I'm gonna try and bang out the hard ones, monkey and anteater, which involve a lot of low stances. Then we're gonna take a break. And then we're gonna run through the last four, which are not gonna be as physically intensive as monkey and anteater. Monkey's all about squats. So we squat. When I try and have my heels flat, my back straight. Now, there are going to be other easier ways for people to do a squat. This may be easier for a lot of people. My element, which I'm not getting into today, is wind, which spends a lot of time in the balls of the feet. So in addition to American hamstring problems, this was the squat that I went to. You need to make sure that your squat is stable. So if I use Silver again, sorry to need to give you a if you apply a standing arm bar, yeah, like that, right? So apply the arm bar. Oh no, right? This is not great for me because I'm totally off balance. Okay, so apply the arm bar again. Do you still have the arm bar? Right? So squats are awesome and everybody's least favorite exercise, I'm pretty sure. Close to it. Never skip leg day. Right? So we can use leg traps for monkey. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a problem. I've inherited that problem. So squat. If I'll do one more example, so I'll just do a simple push-pull like sleep, right? I go here, all right. Here, I did this one already. So here, I'm gonna so get up, push against me. Right. I want to make sure that I'm stable. And that's why having a good squat, and if you're flexible, you can tuck your feet under and sit on your heels and really apply pressure. That may be beyond some people, but from here, right, I'm still applying with the knees, and if you move forward, move that way. I can use the squat, try and move around with my foot. And this is going to be reloading this. When we turn around, we're going to turn around using this movement, and the application has to do with the sports Silat training we do. when we take somebody down, we don't want them reversing the probe. So we're here, right? And they're trying to move around, and then part of the practice is to move around while applying pressure to keep them on the ground and not leaning forward. If you lean forward, they can grab your neck and pull you forward, which is one reason we're gonna try to have that nice straight back. That's the ideal, right? Okay, I'm gonna go through the movement. I'm gonna show the opening. The opening is not gonna have a squat. It could if you want, but you're gonna punch down here. I'm in a straight back horse stand. I'm doing this direction on purpose. I'm not standing facing flat. If I assume my opponent's in front of me, there's a Silat, there's going to be an angle step. But monkey is going to use the angle, the zigzag pattern, in a middle stand. It's an even weighted animal, like stand. It's an even weighted animal, like we showed you. Like I planned this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that if you have done Silat, I'm not stealing this from you guys, I swear. Or at least it wasn't me who stole it. So, right, you're down, curl. This is gonna swing, right? Down, and it's gonna come up. Chamber, but the punch is gonna be down. So reset. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the opening. Called monkey brushes his eyebrow. It's one of those long-browed monkeys kind of relaxing in the hot tub. That's how I imagine our monkeys. Like with a snake, you can have a few different species, right, of monkey. You can run this like a big ape, or you can move it like you can go through the form like a agile squirrel monkey. You can guess which one I am and which one Drew Daniel is. I'm clearly the agile squirrel monkey. Or the sauna monkey, whose species is escaping me right now, but I have that image in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Right, so everybody go through it quickly. Or step off line, punch straight down. Okay, curl in, drop the fists down, bring the hands up to cover the head, chamber, and punch straight down. Okay. Look at the right angle. If I do every angle, and then the way it looks, it's going to be right, like somebody's holding on to your wrist, and you're trying really hard to get to pulling them off. As the application. Something that's important is that I'm trying to keep my back straight. I'm dropping my weight when I punch down. I'm raising myself up when I curl up and dropping when I strike down, raising up and dropping down. And the breath is going to be inhale and exhale. Okay. I'm not going over the breathing pattern for each animal or the footwork patterns. Once you know the whole form, I'm kind of showing them in a linear pattern. Each animal has its own increasingly intricate footwork diagram that it's supposed to follow. And its poem tells a story. There's like so much more. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is going to be nice, easily digestible parts. I'm trying to keep my elbows tight. I'm not doing this kind of thing, right? I know to get to this position, I have to flare my elbows, and these are basically this is basically a double upward block on either side, right? I'm not doing a Y, and here I'm trying to keep my elbows close in. And even when I do this, I try to keep it symmetrical so the elbows are closing in. Okay, now to the zigzag stepping. Camera can see. Oh, a monkey is even incidentally, so there is no left-handed or right-handed because your arms are going to be moving together for pretty much all of it. So that's handy, right? So 1, 2, 3. Tons will continue until we're out. All right, so I strike here, and then the zigzag stepping, I'm going to raise my hands up, right, and then I'm going to bring my hands down into the squat. When I stand up, squat down, get up, squat down, and then the way that I turn around, I'm going to use my hands to go this direction. Super easy. One more move. It's the jump up, grab, knee, kick, and drop back down. What does it look like? It's going to be something like that. I want to make sure to do this early so I can still do it. Right? So, good fun. Planning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then you end with your hands up, right like this. Okay. Dr. Sobel with your mighty quads. Let's see who's got
So sexy. Never skip leg day.
good. Easy. See how easy it is? You just learned that today. Okay.
Streets.
All right, so everybody show me motion. So form like a, you're not on camera if you're but live. You can space forward a bit. You have room. Remember when you squat to try and keep it straight back. It's hard to me. Ah,
What is gonna remember it? They're just gonna remember the distance.
see?
Oh,
And then so for the jump, I think it's called monkey swings across the river. You leap up, right? And you can see how high I can reach with that. No, I can't even see it. But I can reach up and into a knee. Daniel likes to show this one. This is the waiting at the bus stop maneuver. So this is a popular resting position in Indonesia, and they're just Daniel's always ready to put a knee in somebody's face.
And pick them up.
One note is that when I step into the squats, I'm raising up, and when I come down, I'm going to try to keep your hands here. Be careful not to let them stray too far, because you don't want to leave your face open, and you don't want to lean forward unless you're doing a yoga pose. Because we're trying to remember to keep that stability. When I go over anteater, we are going to use that curl forward to achieve things, but monkey is going to be straight up and down.
When you're doing your zigzag step.
Yeah.
Are you stepping and then settling, or are you kind of dropping into the? Or does it?
Yes. No, the second one. So
Okay.
I step, I drop. I come up.
Sure.
I told you I was a spry leaping squirrel monkey. You can step. The way to step, right? You drop down, you raise up. So now I'm in middle stance. I'm going to pivot around in a nice safe way from my knees. Squat down, come up, step, squat, and come up. And if you want to be industrious, it's jumping.
Sure.
And with each jump, you're grabbing and pulling something in. But do whatever you're comfortable with. If you have knee problems, as I have occasionally in the back, what I'm going to do, I can turn this foot outward, step inward like with a foot trap, turn my foot outward, step inward the foot trap, and settle in horse stance. So try and just emphasize standing horse stance stepping, and take it easy on the knees as far as the rotation goes. So that's one of the variations prepared in case there were squat problems. All right. Any questions about that? Turning around, it's like you're supporting your weight on something, right? You just kind of hop around, you can do it in multiple steps, right? Or you can, or out. Depends on how much time you got, right? We have 8 direction stepping in Silat. So you would do it when you're practicing this drill or isolation. You would take a direction, right? I would go here, back, here, and back, here, and back, here, and back, here, and back. And you do that for the whole circle. So you get increasingly large more air time. So we're gonna take a break with some water, and then I'll continue with the monkey technique.
Always fan of them.
Off you more socks.
H2O.
And electrolytes and an energy drink. Not only does it quick.
No, give me a rate first.
So it's like afraid.
But
That's Rondo.
seems like to me it's like I'm saying most of the that's just the different accents. So everybody speaks English.
That's that, like their brother sister arcs. There's a lot of overlap in material and.
Like I said, Tom, but when you put the head down. The hog down,
Oh, yeah.
it was like first couple of them he was trying to figure it out, but after he realized he could just sit on the back of my head and go, wee.
Last for this. This is one of those topics.
Right, because that's the normal time that I usually have for it. All right, so monkey technique. And then I'm gonna somehow get through any of your. Okay, so start with the grab release, maybe double hand grab release. Oh, no, I didn't do the technique yet. Right, so I stand square. If I do this, right, his head comes towards me, which may not be great because that thing looks sharp. So remember, we have the angle. So when I clear, the head's going that way. If he holds on, right, he ends up moving in front of me. So he grabs the wrist. The second part, right, is here, and then we're going to curl inward and then down. Right, and then the hands come up into together. Okay, round. 1, 2, and then we go here to the clinch. Now I can throw knees. I feel like that one, right? But this is a Silat seminar, so I just show complicated takedown. So I'm in front stance right now, but I'm going to shift to the horse. You see how that moved him to the side? I have a secure but safe grip on his jaw and his head. You okay? Okay, so I go to a squat. And the chiropractor gets chiropractic here, and this is the takedown from there, right? So here, right, I have try to get to the one I had before, right? That one, or that one across the. I just hit
Do the form.
I can do the form. Wait, what? The techniques, I'm showing you the rest of the judos. And also what I showed you before. So. Right. And down. But remember, there was a jump. So get some. Do you want to do this one? Monkey smash? Or are you going to go into one of the many different blocks? Okay. I have you now. That's terrifying. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Once I grab it, come here. Example. So this That's okay. It's a grab release, so if it works. How dare you? This is right, this is against the thumb. These are coming down to open up the. You gave the next part?
Yeah.
But turn this way on the step. That's our support for that. Go so that's it for my show. I think
You're good with the grip on this,
Bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask something?
Again, it snows.
Yeah. One side. The outside is gonna be rain.
You wanna show up? Yeah, here.
I don't know what happened. Hold on here. Confusing. So here. 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 If that's where you're actually going.
Your turn.
So against the time. Okay. Use your arm to break the ball, you get a free dance over. So just when I do the clinch, supporting the base of the skull for safety. Try and gently, because you could wrench the neck. Yeah. So be careful of that. So, Jeff, did you bring anybody else?
What's that?
Do you have somebody to practice with?
No, not this morning. I don't.
I'm not done.
That's too bad. Is this all familiar?
It is, and got good stuff. I'm actually getting some inspiration on a few things. I'm going to go try out with some students later on today.
Okay, great. Tag me, please, so I can build my online empire.
Will do.
All right, Shiloh, how's it going?
Peachy keen.
Do you have like a coyote or a Western Diamondback rattler to practice this stuff with? Out where
Oh
you're at?
yeah, totally.
Okay.
No,
Awesome.
I have nobody.
Oh, yeah, I started teaching and having seminars, so I'd have people to throw around. Work for me.
Well played. Well played.
Yep.
This is how I got started teaching as well.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is complicated, and if you don't practice it, you'll never get good at it. So
Pinch your elbow, so try to get it.
got to do what you can to get the practice in. Yeah. That's good, Tom. The monkey's weapon are going to be the double sticks. So if you can imagine smashing with 2 sticks or 2 claw hammers or something, then no. So the machete is going to be more of the dragon weapon. And even double machete, the idea is that it's the chambered short chopping blade.
Yeah.
And that's going to mesh with the dragon movements. That being said, each animal works with each weapon, but every weapon kind of has an optimal, has like a classic pairing that goes with it. So I went over snake. So for snake, you're seeking 0 grappling. So that's the flexible weapon. It's going to be the whip, or the sarong is the pairing with snake. For monkey, it's going to be the double stick. So you have this stuff for your alternating hands, right? The basic phase, and you just add the monkey. hands. So you have these movements, right? If you do that with one hand, these are going to be like punching disarms, and the subject is an entirely different online program / seminar. Digression, at least. Awesome. Monkey. Okay. Snake. Still pretty much on time. Did I? Yeah. So I showed 2 techniques, right? I showed the grab releases. You can see that with the first one, if I yank back hard enough and I'm larger, if I'm sufficiently larger than my opponent, I can clear that, right? I was really hoping Lawrence would make it today. That would be fun to practice with him. Big guy. Come through, right? This is this one right here where I drop my weight and I strike against the wrists and I turned against their thumb. That's another grab release. I'm not moving out with this one. I'm coming back up. Again, this is to clear or to grab the head. When I show another animal, you're going to be moving outside, but for this one, monkey is coming up from the inside. So you have that inside entry into the clank. Other animals, the techniques I'm going to show are going to involve different ways to get in the clench on here. So if I snake, I also did it inside. But okay, so there's a clench, right? I had this one in here. So this is my bottom, my bottom part of my body is open, right? And I zigzag the step in here to the throw. For monkey, throws that punch. I come in here, and then this part right here is closed lower body, right? Closed upper body. And I showed this in the very beginning. So this, I'm here, right? So I'm gonna move down here. Use the squat to apply pressure to the inside there. So if that foot comes in through, right? I have the inside track. Although the ground side kick, I should say that when I use an animal, I am a human being. I am free to use any other technique I feel is appropriate. I'm not stuck playing the role of it. There's a beautiful side kick to the groin. It's fine. Guru Daniel says the art's about freedom. But the core lessons for monkey are going to be this double movement, up and down, straight back. Right? And pull it. Anteater. Anteater also involves both dances. So we're trying to iron these out before lunch. So you guys can still stay if you get a gigantic burrito and a pile of donuts for lunch. Daniel will say it's up to you. Alrighty, so anteater is going to be slow. And this is what kind of makes it difficult to do the form on your legs, is because you have slow movements and low stances. And so the monkey has the squat, right? With a straight back. Oh, I'm getting close. Anteater is going to be a crouch. Again, my weight is more or less even, but I'm going to follow my back foot for stability for my hamstrings. And so you have this crouch, and then anteater is going to curl. Its strength comes from the curling motion. Monkey came from dropping straight down. Anteater is going to curl. So it's going to be throwing its elbows, covering its head, and engaging its core. And basically doing a lot of forward rolls. But the first part of the form is going to be here and then here. The hands for anteater are going to be the claw, because the anteater is low to the ground and it uses large, sharp claws to tear through mountains, like ant mounds or termite mounds, right? So you have these gathering motions that are kind of like tiger, but it's like you're tearing apart. Tiger has claws, right? The anteater is going to have a claw to dig, and then it has its tongue to go seek ants. So these fingers strikes are going to be seeking pressure points. Those are your ants, right? And then the tongue is sticky, so it's going to be used to gather in ants. And so for the anteater, its tongue is like the size of its body or something like that. So it has a long reach. And it's going to be using motion that's kind of like the constricting motion of the snake to bring things in. And it has the claw to kind of clear the way, or to get it into the mount, I guess, depending on what analogy you're doing. So the first movement is from standing, we're going to drop into the crouch. This is going to be coming up like I'm grabbing behind the leg, and this is going to be pushing forward. They'll visualize it. Sorry. I'll use another. I should probably use other people to demonstrate on, but people think. He's here already. Next one. All right. So he punches. I'm supposed to block. No. So this right here, this is block. This is it on the leg, but I'm going after the leg, right? And you have pressure points on the inside. This is either on the hip. We're going through. Right. And then, so this is my knee. This is the inside of his leg. I have to watch out for that kick. It's hard to show what I'm doing, but Dr. Sobel can feel it, I think. I drop this knee into the pressure point on the inside of his knee. That kick comes through. It goes over my head. And I missed. Oh, okay, we're gonna say that on purpose. So this would hook through, and then I would have a lock or damaging on this leg, and this right would be on the head. For example, I'm hooking, use my hand to lift off, and roll away off camera. That's the kind of thing that Anteater does. But first, you got to duck. So when that punch comes, right, this is here, this is gathering, but if I can't duck and cover my head, then I'm just going to get punched in the face. So that's where all the basic training comes into play, and the form. So the first part of the form, the opening, right, covering my head, crouching, grabbing, I'm going to steer forward with my hand, then go into over there. When I do the forward roll, notice I end with my weight kind of lurching forward like I'm going into another roll. Because when I was showing that with Dr. Sobel, you notice my reaction was basically just to keep rolling in a circle around him. That's kind of Anteater loves its rolls with its elbows. Okay. So when I end the roll, rather than ending like this or falling out of the roll like this, I'm going to try to kind of have my weight drifting forward. And the reason for that is that Anteater is going to use borrow balance. Well, it's weight rather than being in the middle, like snake and monkey. I'm going to be using the other person's root as my root, which is part of borrow balance. But the principle we're focusing on is rolling, because every motion I do is going to involve those small circular motions to apply that extra pressure to the joint. Back again. We can, if you do that, you guys might actually end up on camera. All thousands of you. So make sure, for all of you way in the back watching the Jumbotron, that you don't hit each other. You have commitment to the bit. Right? So here, crouch, catch, and then like this, into the roll. Okay, so that was the opening. The footwork is going to be a zigzag again, but we're going to step, change, step, back. That footwork. So it's the shuffling footwork. I know, right? These heads are helpful. Remember, if the sports lab mats are thick for a reason, but also when you're doing these movements, you remember what I did with Dr. Sobel. His pressure points are cushioning my knees. But when you're practicing, just be careful, don't overextend it. And then that stepping, these all have names. The shuffling is wrong stick. And then the wrestling stepping, which you can do when I'm an Anteater, but not normally. Right, like this kind of footwork. That also I want to say is like something like that. It's got a lot of sounds in it. It's I can't quite get it. But the footwork is basically shuffle, step, shuffle. If you're standing, if the knee part is going to be too difficult for you, which will be quite shortly for me, step, shuffle, and shuffle. So it's kind of like a dance. And the shuffling part is the wrong step. Instead of doing the shuffle where I step and push, it's going to be step and drag. The reason for that is that while the Anteater tail is prehensile, when it's walking on the ground, it's kind of dragging. The tail is dragging. For dragons, the tail is load bearing, but not prehensile. That's a weird distinction, but it's going to use its tail to kind of push itself along. Because some of the dragons, they don't have legs, but they don't have as very many rear legs, right? We're gonna get to that. Like, what dragon is our dragon? It's the long, snaky dragon that's holding a ball. Or it's a Komodo dragon. Depends on your viewpoint, Todd. Practice. Crouch. And when I crouch, right, as I duck, you're gonna be moving off line. I'm gonna go in for that leg, pushing against or through the other leg. That feeds into the forward roll. And then the footwork. Right. I feel like that should be-
This is like John Wick.
Yeah. Oh, good. And as long as you don't accidentally plant the rifle into the dirt while you're going, it. Made it. Okay, let's see it. Let's see where we're at with the crouch, gather, and poke. Yep. So that shoulder's gonna roll forward.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to reach forward into the hand now. Okay, forward roll. Awesome. Shuffling. Yeah, that's horrible.
I killed all my people.
All right.
Sorry.
So for the footwork, right? Step, drag, change, step, drag. So I'm here, right? So I need to turn around. I'm gonna put this foot in, this foot out, and then turn around again on that off angle. Right, and then I'm gonna throw an elbow, and then just be a bunch of more rolling. So that's the rest of it. How to turn
Hey,
around?
Randy, can you show me the steps again for that turnaround that you did?
That's excellent, because I'm about to explain the turnaround.
Yeah.
So with each animal, I'm going to try and explain some of the basic movement that goes along with it, like the zigzag stepping, the push pull, the head turn, grab releases, and also some of our footwork. I said you're next. All right. So how do we turn around in the animal? We have a specific way turn around. So he has this cool little threatening from behind. They put it on my spine. Yeah. All right. So if I turn around, oh no, right? Whatever this is, be it his weapon or the direction of the attack, or cool noodle, is still directly on my center line, right? So I step around, I step here, and then now the way it was pointing is off to the side. So that's just how we step around. What I showed you know, right? You had 1 foot front, right? So I took the foot that was behind, I stepped across, and here, right, I'm further away. For anteater, we're gonna take that leap. So for snake, I stepped across with the rear foot. For this one, I'm stepping back with the front foot and then to the side, and then turning around. Okay. Yeah, it is. It's triangle stepping, and we use triangle stepping to change direction. If you put the hand on my shoulder, right, this was snake. Yeah. You put the hand on my shoulder. This low direction is me. When I stepped around, the next motion I said was an elbow and then a forward. So elbow, forward block. With the elbow, for these entries slowly. Right. We just present an arm. There you go, Mr. Foot. So this right here is going to be the elbow. So I have the ankle, have the shin, right? I have this here. Okay. He moves backward. I haven't let go of the ankle. And then this would be the roll. I put the full weight of my body on a very tiny joint. We're gonna pretend I did that. Now stay there. That was here, right? I got that. Remember, like I did with Dr. Sobel, it's not over. If I'm rolling towards him, crunch, 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 crunch. My feet are here to protect my groin, right? I come forward. Right? So this, you can't, I'm hiding everything again, but toe in your armpit. So he goes to grab my head. Right? Okay. Okay, that was it. Yeah.
Practice.
Crouch, roll, footwork, turn around, elbow. Okay, so let's go through it a couple times. Not with a partner, just with the form, but the side, when you turn around,
Yeah.
with the left foot here,
Oh,
Here.
for the V stepping.
and then turn around. You want to make sure, like when you're standing, you're going to use the V stepping to turn around. So there's this
One
one.
more again. Maybe we should do one.
Everything, there's like 3 different ways to do it. So from here, put this knee down and this foot up, and I'm offline, right? Okay. I can also move the foot in, move the foot out, and turn around. So Todd, what this? When you post, we're not posting, we're using our footwork. Either by putting the, when I put the knee down, that changes my body. And I raise the other knee up, I'm offline. And that's how I'm turning around. And then elbow. We're doing this elbow right here. The technique I did would require you to do another roll. That's the motion from the forms. I'm just going to have you do an elbow. Yeah, okay, more time, please. Need that going there. Okay, no. That'll be the left side version. Yeah. How you doing, Brian? Man. Yeah, well, they get easier after this. And they're hard in different ways. Because so everybody has is gonna like exercise different parts of your body. So I think that the animals are probably the most physically intensive thing the system has, especially dragon. When you go through the not the dragon we're doing today, but the full dragon has motions where you're crouched, you're doing the shuffle, but you stand up into kick. And it's yeah, we're not doing that part. We're doing the easy part of dragon, which is horse stances, front stances, none of that. You gotta wait until the next time. So. Anteater. Any questions about anteater? Okay, so show me the form one more time. Dr. Sobel, can you come up here? Yeah, I can tell you've practiced that wrestling walking walk.
You do all day.
So when I practice it, I usually I do it during techniques and I put them like I'm putting my knee down on a nice cushy leg. But that's thank you for showing the footwork. The wrong stick and left. Theater technique. Alrighty, over here. I am going to try the anteater techniques that I usually do are not the head turn and the grab release. But we're gonna do that anyway. So cross hand grab. Okay. So for snake, I had this one. I came up around to clear. Right. I have that sort of thing. Anteater. This hand is going to be the tongue. I'm looking for the ant. Right. And this one's going to be the claw. So that one that I did where I grabbed my hand was horizontal and then down. Right? For an anteater, it's going to be vertical forward. And then because It's anteater, I'm gonna throw an elbow. So this is a wrist lock into an elbow. I'm gonna show a nice, easy technique. I know who I'm here. Go through, right? I cleared, so this clears the gravity, right? So if I want to escape, that's my clear for the for hand grip. But this is a Silat seminar, so we just skip past all that stuff. We're going here, right? Forward, right? Then I have this into a wrist lock, and the wrist lock I'm going to do is cross my body and down and to the side. This you can feel this one. You can feel the points, right? Yeah. Into the other here. So now I have the wrist fold. My animal's monkey. I'm not supposed to naturally go into a monkey stance, but this right here would be a great example of what monkey would look like. Remember with this part with the wrist right here, right? But it's anteater, so I would cover it by rolling onto his torso. So this is the wrist lock again, and this is going to be my target for the roll, the solar plexus, right? I'm going to roll through. So you can move out of the way, please. Right? So we practice the elbow and the roll. So the target is right here in front of me, right? You know where he was? Did you want me to show it on him? As I crush his solar plexus and roll through it? I'll do a dive roll. So from here, right? And that will be my escape. Now, this is really important. When I did the roll, I softened my impact with my left hand. I did not do a dive roll into my elbow because that would destroy my shoulder. The important thing is when I do the roll is that there's a nice, cushy, smashable rib cage. Like with the footwork, anteater is we're gonna do hard versus soft. So my elbows and my knees are gonna be attacking soft targets, but just do a dive roll over the person. What is the technique? Can you guys all do it? Raise your hand if you don't know how to do a dive roll. Great, everybody here knows how to do a dive roll. So wrist grab, counter, right? I'm gonna crouch down and bring my arm around to here. Wrist throw, if this is not a wrist throw, it would just open up the leg and I would do the other technique or kick him in the face or something. And then from here, he thinks, so he's gonna try and release this wrist here, but what I wanna do is I wanna get away. 4, 2. The counter grab. So you saw that I had my leg around your arm when I did the roll. That you want to be careful about rolling with your entire body weight when somebody's arm is locked up in your body. So I'm gonna, depending on your comfort level with your partner and your medical coverage. This is the technique. Okay. Okay. This is going to be the technique, but anteater, I use an elbow, and then I would roll. Okay. Get up one more time. Thank you very much for your patience. Wrist grab release. Here. This is the hand, right? Counter lock. I want to counter lock. I'm going to drop to bring him. I'm going to stay with him. If he does not drop, I am going to do a different technique. I would do that right here. I use my elbow on the wrist to bring him in front of me, and then here would do some sort of weaponized roll to take care of the rest of the situation. You think he's covering his head? So in this case, I would roll. I would cover my head, and then I would roll for this. If you think that's too far away, it's not. Right? He covers his head. His leg is in front of me. He can't see his leg. So that's going to be the target I'm going to roll for. I love anteater. It's supposed to be my animal. I need a lot more time. I don't want to eat up all the time with anteater. Counter the wrist lock. Drop into a crouch, not a squat, with an elbow. Okay? So practice that with each other. I'm going to come first. No. I got to be really careful with anteater.
I'll cover my nose, and I have people cross it out, which.
All I'm not gonna correct you.
I've been interesting role before.
That's why I can do it like roll away.
I tried to out there. It's a pretty solid anteater roll across.
Sorry, vertical, together, what that, vertical.
Set up the dynamite.
Preserved with fine.
Inward. Just like bringing that. Yeah, I mean, everything's much more. But you're moving. Or you can tear something off.
No camera for wearing a Pennywise shirt that says body form.
Yeah. Child.
Morning.
Trust myself.
Do you guys have any questions about anteater?
Nope,
Just keep
good.
I'm sorry, what was that, Jeff?
I said, no, it's looking good.
Okay, great. Just remember, it's like basically it's just crouch and roll, and there's elbows. There's an elbow in there usually.
That's what makes it fun.
The detail on the hand is that this one is going to be gathering in because the anteater's claws are not like a tiger's. They curl in, and they're large and they're relatively sharp, but they're usually kept inward to prevent them from being damaged. And that motion is the inspiration for the pulling, not only like the destroying the mound, but also keeping it curled to protect the fingers or the claws. And these are also going to be the way that anteater grips. Each animal has a different way of gripping. Whether it's going to be snake or like monkey, monkeys don't have opposable thumbs. So we're going to use like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle grip. So if you just give me something to grab. So the monkey grab is going to be like that. This is the monkey grab. When I have this here, instead of using my thumbs, monkey will grab the fingers and turn him into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And it has, so when I did the motion where I drop and I bring my hands down. So I keep my elbows together and I rotate my wrist, and that's to tear the fingers apart. That's the detail in this motion. So as you drop down, you're one of the techniques is to split the hand. Do anyway. There's a bite.
Started.
There's a bite too.
Get started.
Sure. Yeah. For the beginning, yeah, the end is good.
Secure, fall back first, and then start to rock.
Yeah, and this right hand, that's gonna be the one.
Yeah.
Could you grab your elbow? Yeah. Yes. And remember, the anteater can always cover it by elbowing something and rolling. So it covers it like the anteater. So when you think of an anteater, I think of like the one like the furry anteater. So this is the scaly anteater pangolin. So it has a proof armor. It's literally armor. So there are traditional coats that are made from the scale of the pangolin. It's wearing like tiger-proof armor, and it curls in to protect the inside. So each animal has a weakness and has a strength, which is subject of another lecture. But this is very clear with anteater because clearly the rolling of the back is the strength, because that's where the armor is, and then the soft, squishy underbelly is going to be the weakness. I mean, that seems pretty obvious to me. Tiger, the weakness is going to be the back of the bird. Yeah. Anyway, so each animal has strengths and weaknesses. A tiger also has very strong wrists. I think we'll probably do tiger next. So I'll show another application for anteater, and then we'll break lunch. Alrighty. The punch. So this is the split entry. So we've gone over inside, right? So now, rather than going to outside, which is usually the first thing I teach, we're gonna cover the split entry. So that this is here, right? This is gonna be the block, and this is going to come through like this. This is a very obvious split entry, but the anteater one is gonna be here. So notice I didn't have my fingers extended because I don't like breaking them. But the same idea, I'm gonna go for the throat or under the jaw. Right, so this is gonna be the striking. If you're going to use your fingers with the anteater, don't strike with your fingers. You're going to place your fingers and then use them. This is really important because if you take your fingers and you punch people with your fingers, they're gonna snap like twigs. So if you're going to use the pressure point manipulation, you need to place your hand there. And then you can feel this finger, that finger, and then this is the pointer finger. Help that one. Okay. Basic base is easy. I just punch him. Right? For this one, I have open lower body, closed upper body. I could also do this one if I want to apply more forward pressure, but that's not going to be anteater style for this technique, for the follow-up. So again, here, right? And then instead of I could do a head turn from here, but instead I'm going to do an elbow fold to show the elbow strike. I'm folding his elbow, but the way the distance works is I'm basically throwing an elbow strike and folding the arm and using the point of my elbow and the curling of my body to get the takeout. And then Daniel, it's probably another roll. Remember, this is monkey, right? Anteater is going to be the crouch. So I have a leg up against his neck. Okay, we'll just here. This is the split entry, right? So basically, split entry, elbow fold into a take. Got try ones? Easy peasy. You want to try it with the anteater? With the pressure point? Yeah, these are good. And then this one is going to extend into that one. Higher. Yeah. Good. And then fold. So yeah. Pressure points can be confused with pain compliance. And honestly, pressure points are not super reliable because some people are just dead inside. Or they have, so you have the version of the pressure points where I'm a couple fingers underneath his collarbones and I'm applying pressure to a point in his neck. And when I do that one, if they're susceptible to it, you see how I get them to move. And then I can do the technique. I can move them over like that. Okay. I don't know, accuracy kind of goes out the window. So the basic thing, he punches, right? I hit him and then I elbow him and look, the arm folded. That's great. So now I'm going to drop my weight and curl my elbow in to bring him over. Okay. But the important thing was I didn't get punched or stabbed. I counterstruck. I have an elbow and I'm like, hey, cool, takedown. And then you have right this. Okay, so practice that with each other. Split entry, elbow, fold the elbow, and then drop into a crouch. Drop into a different crouch every time.
I feel like the pressure point doesn't work. Dislocating my collarbone probably the feel like that.
Oh, great point. Yeah. That, but yeah, from an elbow, you get a ball. Well, yeah, the point. Oh, okay. It's three. Okay. 1, 2.
Yeah, highly.
I've been recording myself.
So,
Yeah, Fred.
oh, you mean when we did all of this? Oh, that's not going to Thought you wanted, I thought there was like 3 different spots.
No, I hit all 3.
Oh, you mean for coverage.
Yeah. You know, but then the other one with the elbow. We do the split entry. Right? And then the elbow. Yeah, you just go straight.
Was that, was the finish do something we went?
No, stopping is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. You got everything in my background.
I learned Dr. entirely separate Silat art where this point. Okay. I get you.
That's a Marine Corps jury.
And that's gonna be like the. Did you feel the pressure point?
No.
So that the punch comes in?
Yeah.
So I wanna make sure I'm not punching with my fingers. I'm gonna place my hands here and then I have 3. Oh, I'm on the inside, but I still have 1, 2. I missed the 3rd one, but that's okay. I still moved you, so I still have the elbow. If they flinch. I mean, it's flexible. The flex is flexible. But everybody felt it?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, the goal is not really to have tap out from doing that. It's to get them to like go like this. You can hit them.
Trying to place this with shift center. So I have mechanical ways of shifting the center, right? I can push, or I can pull, or you can use. I hesitate to use the word psychological, but I'm attempting to use their flinch to get them to shift their center. And in that moment of them being off balance, you can take advantage of it to apply a technique. Right? Every technique has an opening, an entry, an application, and a finish. So the opening is just going to be your block. The entry is going to be inside or outside, closed or open. The applications where you're really going to see the principle come into shine, like push, pull and push, right? Or shearing, just similar, I'm not going to get into that. Rolling, so when I apply the pressure points, anteater is all about roll. It's obvious when you think about it. What am I doing? I'm rolling around, right? So the principle I'm trying to show with anteater is going to be the rolling. So when I use the elbow, I'm really going to roll that forearm into the elbow strike. When I apply the pressure point manipulation, my fingers, I'm going to try the idea, which comes from Tiger, is you're really going to try to have independent motion, which I think is physiologically impossible, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're trying to get the end point of your finger, and that's rolling with your fingers to apply a force multiplier, even on like the micro scale. So from the macro, by just rolling my whole body into a forward, totally committed, reckless elbow strike / roll down to the level of applying pressure points using in series. Remember, for those of you who felt it, I'm going for 3 pressure points, and it's 1, 2, 3 in a rolling motion. So I'm applying pressure to all 3, kind of in sequence, but without letting up. So rolling from macro to micro, anteater loves a roll. So, any questions? We have gone through basic techniques. I did snake, monkey, and then now anteater. We have 4 animals left. Still sort of on time. The seminar is only half over, so I got time. Any questions about what I've covered so far? Any questions? Everything is a choose. Okay.
Sorry, weapon pairing with anteater?
The Trisula to the
Okay.
side.
Well, that makes it even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
So when I'm applying the pressure points with my fingers,
It's
you think of
down.
that as being metal
Still
in the
observe.
middle of the Trisula.
So, yeah.
When I'm doing the elbow to the inside of the leg, that's going to be the steel of the weapon, right? When I'm hooking the leg and rolling, that's going to be hooking with the prong of the Trisula.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't bring it because I'm really trying to stay focused. The the weapons with each animal. It's a separate seminar. So I got it like. And then a box today.
Right.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Which weapon is the anteater's preferred?
The sai,
Okay, that
also
makes
called the
sense.
tekti or the trisula, chabang, etc. Yeah, so each of these, if you think about like this motion, this would be like unfolding to like strike outward with the trisula, right? So you have
Oh, well, you have.
it going, and then when I come around, this is hooking and pulling,
What could we get?
right, outward. This is, I like mine better, but I didn't bring it. The strike, if you think about striking with your finger, right? You need to be careful with this because fingers are breaky. But if this becomes your finger, right, that's going to be used with the motion. Anybody want to volunteer?
No.
So the split entry, right?
Looks
So I have
tricky.
this part here, right? And then I have the end. And that's going to be used to impact the pressure points, right? And this is here on the bicep. So I have one prong on the bicep. I have this one on the inside there. You'll get a fall. But hold. This is going to help with the hooking. So here again. Oh, there's a secret.
Oh, okay. I do have to want to take it twice.
Although honestly, this is kind of torture.
Yeah.
So here, the prong, we're going to try and find that pressure point on the arm to apply that, just to cause suffering, I guess. I don't. This is going to move and maybe enable something else. But really, you have a weapon, so you have the ribs, right? You have the head. He covers his head. I break his leg. I don't know. There's so many options, but the weapon for anteater is going to be the field. Right? He punches,
Thank you.
hit him with the sai. It's not that complicated. I strike, I come through, I hit, right? Or I come through and I strike, come through. I go for the leg, right? This here, and the strike at the leg, strike at the leg, the hook, right? If it's in this hand, the hook, again, pressure points. So
Actually, got to go.
Yeah. Thank you. My favorite grip is the axe grip. What the dagger grip is like.
But it was. Yeah. So tell me,
I'm going to attempt to stop the recording so I don't have 30 minutes of dead video.
Okay, so you guys are taking a 30-minute break?
About like 20 minutes.
Okay,
I will attempt to restart the recording when I come back.
I'll remind
Sounds
you.
good. I'll keep mine recording.
Pause recording is an option. Did it actually pause the recording? Yep, says it's paused. So anything that we say right now isn't being recorded.
Maybe not on your end.
Oh no, I'll try to keep it age appropriate.
Don't expose them to the wild.
We don't want the child of a marine.
Listen.
Oh, we don't.
So I recorded our blackout. Turn it off afterwards. So there's just like there's just 2 hours of everyone running around going, "Woo, yeah." But if you want, I can send you the link to that. The only thing where you don't want to open share it, so I can share it. Like,
Gather, roll, and bang.
Yes.
Like you can sit there and still stop conversation for like 2 hours on just like, a handful of like the bar of balance or something simple like that.
Yes.
But you can also just sit there. Or you can just break it down into gather, roll, snap. It's
Or
not
you,
bad.
and you can see, I'll read through Daniel, the version paths.
It's like Starship Troopers, which would like to know more.
Cycles off into.
I'll say yes. I don't, it's not, honestly, don't remember, but I think I'm gonna be.
It's not in my shoe, so I'm not saying.
I'm just trying really hard not to just repeat myself again.
No, it's all really good stuff.
No, we were just saying, you could definitely tell you took the time, the way you brought that down.
Yeah.
I have I'm not really great with Tom and another Tyler. One of them coming by my place to practice. So I've been teaching like 3 classes a week. And then with Tom and Tyler, like I have a paired set, Future Skondo and Tyler.
Mhm.
And then with both of them, I've been, when I'm working on the
Which one, Tyler?
first back rock climbing. Yesterday. So
Oh,
yeah, he's great. He's a Krav Maga, like a degree, some sort of karate black belt. Done some poly. Oh, we're gonna have a,
He was like,
he was a six, oh, yeah. My fencing helmet at that seminar.
Oh.
Yeah, I
I
called
was my water bottle.
go there. I tried calling the office and I don't know. I'm not gonna go to the next one because I don't have that.
You just show up from a week ago. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, I was super distracted, so I understand how I could have left helmet behind.
Sure.
But
Fans, always we're getting moved around a lot too. You know.
but the thing is I keep my gloves and my helmet, right? And I have all of my gloves, but not my helmet. So I'm like,
I emptied it out.
how did the two get separated? I just don't know.
You guys need something to eat.
I brought a Chick-fil-A burrito.
Huh? I got
But if you guys want to get,
I got a
well, if you guys have time for lunch, maybe we could try and get lunch.
I mean, there's like the little surf shop place right up
Yeah,
there.
there's a sushi place nearby that Maria takes her people.
I mean, I was gonna sit and have lunch with you guys and then I got a buggy after that,
We
but.
have a lot of time. Yeah, I was just, I
No,
mean,
no.
Yeah.
You staying here? Okay. Let me grab all my stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, if you, I mean, if you're just gonna meet on a snow day or if I can not come in.
whatever. Like I said, match the level of enthusiasm.
I thought if you put the gauntlet down, I'm in. I'm in if you find out later on today, are you coming tomorrow? Stupid working service.
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow morning. We have a virus culture going that I check every day.
Brandon, you should get a job at Johns Hopkins. You'd be perfect. I feel like that there's a note for you, bro. I got some stuff that you could not.
Somebody's talking.
Like, we need a job interview. Just so they're gonna hire me on.
Oh, good. That's fine. Just who's about to hire you on the Hopkins. I'm gonna go get some paper towels. Buy some bleach. Buy board material. Bleach. Notify my people.
It's all fine. Go for it, full cover time. Oh, yeah. Hey, Frank. We said he's staying here. Do you wanna just grab something real quick?
Where's that?
I got food already.
Oh, so it's just me and you, all right?
Huh?
Here you go.
Sorry about that.
I had a protein bar back.
Clumsy dirt. We just ran away. Oh, we just came in, took over some coffee, and ran away. I don't know who it was. Man. I feel like it's not the coffee we feel. Yeah. You were fun. Ah. Ugh. It's simple. I mean, it's purple, but it's a heavy duty. So it says simple green on the side. But it is. I believe it's the heavy duty simple purple. Okay. I don't know why the heavy duty purple, but I'll just spray this directly into the coffee. You know what else I'm gonna do? What was it? Now when you knock it over, the lid falls. Sure. I leave it honestly. I could have probably just grabbed it. Around here, I've got here it is. My Swiffer wet jet, but I also filled with simple. So something like that happens again. Today's seminar brought to you by. It's good stuff. And it's cheap stuff too, because you can get the concentrate and make it last forever. Or if you're me, that's very heavily concentrated. I mean, I don't need to wait like right. Finally. The blood I'm not so worried about, honestly. Blood is honestly, it's much easier to clean than you think. As long as you don't mind, it's showing up on. I've had trouble with fabric. Like blood's not really hard to clean out of fabric. More so than the mask. Hydrogen peroxide. Here. Also simple green. Oh, yeah. It does the same thing. It breaks down the proteins in the blood. Also, don't spray it on an open wound. It's disinfected. Drink it. Please. We used to do that. We would get when I used to clean out, we would get cuts and scrapes and whatever, and to clean them out, I'd open up our bleach tank, which is 12.5% bleach. Mind you, household bleach is like 1%, if that. So really concentrated stuff. Dunk my hand into it or whatever is cut, and then rinse it off with hose water, wrap it in the paper towel electrically. Okay. We also do the same thing. Take the water in the tank for if we're stopping at a truck stop, because most or not truck stop, rest area, highway rest area. Most of their sinks don't work. So yeah, we leave some stuff in there. Instead of clearing our hose all the way, we would clear it most of the way. So you have some bleach and soap in there, turn it on, wash your hands in it, and then you would start running the rest of the water through the hose and you rip off that. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to tell when you're filling your line with bleach, when it would turn to bleach by the smell. But after working with it for so long, we all became noticeable to it. So we would run it, and when we think it's changed, we'd stick our hand in there and lick some of the bleach off our hand. That sounds terrible. So I said, I used to clean that out bleach. Okay. And like every time if I got cuts and things, I would dump my hand and rinse off, wrap it. Right. But then also when we're filling our hoses, usually they're filled with water. So when we prime it up, first start the job, smell it. Oh, so that's how when it changes, we would pull the hose out. Yeah, that's what.
Oh.
It was good pay off. It's like $22 an hour, 19-hour days, 6 days a week. We're out like 2.5 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cash?
I left this in the office. Perfect. Got it here. It's like, ooh, great. I think as an instructor, I should be here. Anyway, the closest thing is either 7-Eleven for food or Spring's. Spring's is expensive. 7-Eleven's. I make that Silat seminar myself. I guess those. Not exactly one morning. Cool. See, they're doing more videos with what's his name, Eric, the karate guy, Jay, karate guy. It's like a Polish dude or a dude with an accent. Him all morning. Yeah. Just showcasing more of a Silat. I know it's different, more of a Silat, but it's interesting to see how it goes. It's gonna be covering sickles in May. Yeah. Now, how would you describe the different Silat forms between, like, say, the Dutch influence versus the fingers like other influence? Like basically kind of like with, they're all indigenous arts. Well, but some where, the Dutch have taken Silat in a different direction than. Okay, so let's rock people on here. So my understanding is that during the Dutch occupation of Indonesia, some of the Silat schools were on the side of the. And some said they're on the side of the Dutch, some were against that. I don't know. There's a bit of politics there that I'm not intimately familiar with. My understanding is that from the Sarakan and well, I don't know. It's along my. The Inti Ombak alphabet comes from the court of Yogyakarta, which was a semi-autonomous region. Even under Dutch rule, although it was split by the British, main influences are going to be from the people that the court brought in as like mercenaries. I think so. I think that's where a lot of our stuff that looks like Chinese martial arts, not from the maybe from the Hoka, but the less so from the Kuntao, but more from the. I think that would have come from the court, maybe. Some of it is indigenous. I'm not sure where. It's all in the Ombak now. So I'm not exactly sure where all the pieces. I'm low, and I have my head down, away from the Madura side. And if I'm high, and proud posture, and that's usually from the Madura side. Train, I got to make sure that. Proud. Yeah, because like you can, compare, let's say like in Town Block with what you're doing, or Blue Dam does versus say Mount Morning, you can definitely see same
you know, you're speaking the language differently. Just enough that's noticeable if you're.
Well, there's they're different cultures. Well, Morty talks about this, it's like the aristocrats on a narrow walkway from water. And then one of my other friends, Mom, he's from the Indonesian Borneo, Kalimantan, and they're all about range, fighting at range. So they have tree houses. So they fight with blowguns and long range. So lanky. His movement is amazing. He's a lanky guy for Indonesian. He's like almost 6 feet tall, skinny. So all of his stuff, well, he does fight close. He's got a lot of really good strikes at range. But like Small Morty's more stocky, so some of this stuff gets closer. But the body type of the instructor, the culture, all of it. Like for us to come from the court of Montana, so a lot of our movement is going to kind of look like classical Javanese dance, especially since 2 of our instructors are schooled in classical dance. And so one of our spiritual leaders, his family were dancers at Alice, and Guru Daniel he learned some sort of dance from Java, pottery grandma. Like when I'm doing like that movement. Yeah. And like especially with Crank, you do things like that. I emphasize this kind of like the whole like unfurl like motion with the hands that's gonna be similar to dance. But all of the movement, the hand gestures are basically grab release and counter. So there's applications for it.
A random note, I found something interesting about these. Still don't know exactly where they come from, but they're most commonly used in traditional Ryukin karate. And it's because somebody brought them and said, what do you do with these? But I don't know, and made something up. Well, they're not the only art that still uses them. And even
doesn't know some wushu for their section staff.
I've seen it in Wushu.
I don't know. I have inherited teacher prejudices. Chain weapons like the chopper and through Daniel. Oh my god. Dumb. Basically, the weapon trying to attack you the whole time.
That's been my experience.
Not the way the art works. The art always terminates at yourself. You're basically having to dodge and fight yourself the whole time.
or take the. I always see that like
Sure.
routine, taking the brunt of it.
People have arguments. People like them. That's fine.
Yeah.
Our flexible weapons are the sarong, the whip, the cane. Some the style is the way that.
So for somebody, the end of the chain is bad, but if there's that
That being said, there is a Jaku club that joins our Silat thread. So I can't say that Silat doesn't use Jaku because they use whatever weapon is available. And there's the Japanese occupation. And
All the weird
we have a strong mother, I think it was my teacher Drew Daniel, he was showed on karate since he was like for a long time.
Like if I had like in a combat
So,
situation where like
very
if
strong
you bro, I gotta kill you.
influence
I got like my
in the
t-shirt. I am
culture
going
of martial arts from a lot of different-
slowly.
And the way that they find them, put them and integrated everything so that it lines up with the footwork grid, the double block check, everything else, all of that process of integrating everything. That is
The timeline that.
so that's why I'm like, oh, he's doing Shaolin. It's very complimentary to me, but no, I'm like Youngbach, the way that they incorporate with everything else.
You know, they have a
That is part of the Indonesian Japanese culture. Where they're really good at combining from many one with
you know, maybe.
from unity and diversity. So the many national motto like ours is from many one. There's a brain and pride that we
Which for
unity and diversity.
Caleb would be in his junior year. Only thing that doesn't have
That's
that.
the only way they're able
A little bit. But Johns Hopkins, after 4 years, will pay half of the tuition of what we're called
Not the
But you put your
Chronicle,
kid,
Brandon's Jack.
in Johns Hopkins.
Mhm.
So it's like $35,000. That would pay the last little bit. So if I can just do that job, and I mean, even if it's just like pushing a damn bird, because at that point, that plane would be completely tired.
Right, it's only, 35K.
Yep. And if I could do that in St. Petersburg, it's like on the water. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, they got all kinds of hospitals. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know the hospitals are down there.
Yeah, this is really good.
Is that from over here, Creamies or down Pete's place?
I don't know, the one that's right here.
Creamies, yeah. But they're all right. Like the people there, the food, their food's pretty darn good. The people there, the older guys are great. The younger kids are
Well,
arrogant. There used to be a vape store 2 doors down. It's technically still there, but it's
I
really
make
big.
a good cheese steak.
But they used to run over there and complain and want like 30% discounts on everything as a neighbor discount. They're like, dude, does the neighbor already give you 10%? I can give you another 20% just. And they weren't reciprocating either. They'd come over there and be like, you want a 30% discount? They'd come over, where's my discount? Here's a free Coke.
Yeah.
Hey, not the same.
But that Bayshore Boulevard, like right there in Borders and Hyde Park in Florida.
I think I know exactly what you mean.
It's one of them places where the sun rises and you're like walking
And it starts to roll.
and that's all you're staring at.
Rats on the.
That's all.
I'm so. Every part of my body. Early on Monday and vacuum. I gotta vacuum the mat.
I wonder if my phone has any charge left. He said.
Yeah, we said we blow it all.
44%. That is better than I thought it would be. Yeah, we're gonna get started here in a minute.
Yeah. And we say you don't like how my cousin steam this twice a week, the steamer takes like 30 minutes just to heat up.
Yeah. And it seems like that vacuum will more wear and tear on that.
Great for that, like this one, because it's a little more through the surface, the vacuum glides over pretty easily. It gets stuck to that one. I have to fight it every time.
The things martial arts school are talking to each other about.
Right. Only hazard is Apollo. It's a giant bulldog that's actually blower. If you're blowing the for an old dog with a bad hip, it's flying through the air like a great white shark. Just jumps on the leaf blower and use it up. Yeah. Sorry, Apollo. The only picture.
All right, we're charging. That's even better. Okay, so I'm gonna resume the recording. Or I've just started the recording and it was paused this whole time. We'll never know.
No, just do the forms. 2 times. So far away that I'm feeling like. So the first one was snake.
Like drinking one of the frozen crazy pop. Or pizza. That good?
Here.
It's 3. Okay. Your money back there, hit 7. Not my fault, I just. Fine, everybody.
Right.
I just did it. Hello, Jeff, are you back yet?
I never left.
Okay, great. Well, they're definitely worried you don't get the cardio.
Oh, yeah.
Drag it. Monkey little squat and.
So you wind up being like Uncle Bill and being 90 and still being able to drop on the ground and roll. You never stop doing it. I think you're okay.
Or you do it correctly.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
God, you get much less that.
No, no.
I don't know.
Figure that- It's a very small manageable white size.
I know it's a cheese. So- Jesus, we'll get back.
I think there's a reason why. Seminar says multiple instructors.
It's like it's been a tension thing, right? So at least with different multiple instructors, you're able to kind of switch gears and all that.
So. I think he can be up by Tiger.
Tiger.
All of you like.
It's all
We all think so, you know.
All right.
Enough junk food.
I didn't want to eat too much. But,
You all look similar enough.
Oh, we've all had a nice huge meal, so. Now we do that extra animal. Right. We just punch each other in the stomach after rolling, right?
Grizzly bear hibernation.
Yeah. It's called the mama bird because.
Go very young. It's hibernate.
There's so much editing to the front.
all right, guys.
Okay, you have to edit this.
Yeah, I'll let it
All right, take care, brother.
Okay.
drop my.
I can't put this on. Don't say what. Especially not, I've got a lot of time on that. The director Falcone that.
Director Falcon.
I'm gonna quickly pause and or resume the recording.
And his on his way, we're gonna expose her.
The new head of our.
We have 4 animals left.
He must be referred to at all times.
Crane. Mantis, tiger, and dragon. Tiger and dragon are usually going to be opposite each other. It's one's front stance, one's back stance, I think. And there are other reasons. Crane is going to be either front or back stance. And then mantis is going to be another one of the odd animals where it's going to use the other person's route. So I've been sort of keeping on a sort of a plan because I showed the evenly balanced animals. They stopped the recording. Let me just. No, it's fine. I don't need to record any of this. Just got it, including all of the outtakes. So snake and monkey are evenly weighted. Anteater and then now mantis are going to be oddly weighted because they're going to use the other person's route. And tiger, dragon, and crane are going to be, I don't want to use the word unbalanced because nobody'd ever accuse a crane of not having balance, but they're going to be balanced either on one leg or on the other. Dragon is going to focus on the front weighted stances, tiger on the back, and then crane is going to be moving from front weighted to back weighted. So going in the reverse order of how the animals are usually described, I knew it was in an order. Now I'm going to go over mantis because that's the other oddly balanced one.
Resume recording. That explanation wasn't important. Okay, recording again. All right. Mantis. So the mantis hands are we're going to be supporting the first digit of our pointer finger with our thumb. Yeah. You'll see some other hands, like the thumb is with the fingers. Like some people call this like the crane beak. For us, it's closer to a mantis. Our crane doesn't have a beak, it's got wings. I don't want to get into that. But when you're thinking of a mantis, we want to focus on not just the reason why the fingers are like this is because they're going to be used in this hand position. This mudras is being used to tense your forearm muscle. And you think of like mantis, right? It's got those forelimbs, they're folded up. So mantis got to have jacked forearm, right? So when you do a mantis, when you think about the hands, you want to think about the controlling the tension in your forearm. Yeah, right. And then for the lower body, your weight can be front or back, but you want to think about the mantis's other two legs. Human beings have 4 limbs, right? Yes. Okay, great. Insects, of course, have 6, but the mantis has, when it rears up, it's got 2 pair supporting the weight of its body, right? So if you think about what are those legs are going to be my legs, and they're going to be my opponent's legs. So when you do a motion in the form, like this one, where it seems like you're horribly, when you're like almost over you're projecting your weight forward, and you're off balance. You want to think about the other person's legs. They're what's keeping you in balance. So when you do a movement in mantis, and it's like it looks like you're overextended. If there's a person there, you're using their reach. You're borrowing their balance. So that's kind of the key to how the movement's going to go with mantis. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, for the opening, is basically this is the plank and a knee, right? So the way we're going to do it, we're going to have our forearms tense, hooking, and you're going to bring the knee up like that. So I'm doing the other side. The first movement is going to be a kick shield and projecting forward. And then the second movement, back, grab. Okay. And when you're doing this, you want to think about the fact that you're being supported by the other person. So I have Dr. Sobel over here. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's like really a jab and a cross. Right? So when I do this, I'm pushing forward. And you think this may not be great because you can pull me off balance. But I have 4 legs. And you feel it? I do. I've loaded his weight onto his leg when I came forward. And you have to feel this to believe it. So, and then when I come back from the head turn, right? You notice how he walked. So basically I'm walking with him. So, and then with the knee, hard to go this with the knee, but the clinch is going to be, so this is going to be a split clinch, right? The monkey was here, right? I throw that knee and I drop into a squat, throw him, right? For mantis, left lead, right? This comes here. Oh, this is the side clinch. And then with the knee or the foot, this is going to come up like this. And like that. So if I do that motion, it looks like this, which is going to be different than how the crane is going to do it. If he throws left round kick at my side, this is going to be the shield, right? And the way that shield works is he puts slowly, right? I'm either going to shield against his ankle or against the inside of his leg, not shin to shin. I do not want to go chin to chin with Dr. Sobel. He does Muay Thai in Thailand. Let's just snap it. We'll just
snap right off.
Like each other.
I mean, my shins are not that good. Coffee tables mostly. So this is going to be the first motion, the shield, right? But I'm hooking and projecting with this hand, right? And then from here, we're going to hop back, grab, and knee. So 1, 2, 3. Piece of cake. It's hard not to do one to the other because Mantis is unbalanced, like Anteater. It's hard to stop for me. With Anteater, when I finish a technique, I'm always got that hand forward, that balance that's supposed to be filled up with somebody, holding me up. So I just keep rolling with Anteater. And with Mantis, you kind of just want to do the next thing because with every movement, you're using bar balance. You're doing self. That means you're being kind of drawn in a certain direction. And that's how the form of the drift should look. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember those 4 on. 1, right? 2, 3. When I land off center, or go to the side, hook, and catch. Building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Yeah. These are I'm now going to ramp down the leg, the quad damage. I hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that last one's fun. If it helps, you can just rock forward. Okay, let's try it. I'll face you this time. So 1, 2. So it's like this. And then 3, 4. Good. 5. 6. You can hear all of like the lower back. Okay, you try one. Kick shield. Jump back and knee. Front kick. Grab. Okay. Step forward and eject. And then reverse direction. Yeah. So it's easy if I just turn around. But remember, we want to use the proper turnaround. So here, 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 and again. Yes. Just make sure you get the step right before you crouch. Okay, one more time. From the beginning, at your own speed. When you shield, we're gonna have our toe up. That's to catch something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're tensing your shin. When you lift your toe,
Flexing the.
you're tensing your shin. You're not blocking something with your toe. That's important. If that hurt. I didn't invite Dr. Sobel to watch how he does the animal form. That would be sneaky.
Wow, I'm learning your forms. These are great.
At least the first 4 or 5 moves out of them. Alrighty, so techniques. First grab, head turn. I'm gonna throw a bit of a curveball on this one. I'm gonna show a counter to a head turn. Whoa, no, that's not true. I'm gonna show a head turn and a counter. Cool. The double wrist grab. Okay, so remember folding the wrists and strengthening the forearm, right? You lift up. But remember also borrow balance. So I'm going to try and have my weight go forward to move him to shift his center and to use his rear foot as my leg, right? Come up. Grab. So bend my wrist. That gets him. You remember Guru Daniel's seminar where he had to practice that thing first, this stuff? Were you there for that one? Yeah. Okay. You were there for that one. I'm doing that, but 1 foot's forward. Right? And then with Mandus, we had the forearm, right? So they're going to come up, right? And then to clear, I'm going to hook and pass, and then I end up to the side. I do Dr. Sobel's version. We're like this. I'm like, I'm just going to steal what he's doing. But lower your elbow. And
They come up and
that's that part. So when I turn around, you have that, that's the pass. It's like when you're, you throw a backhand. That, pass, I'm doing that when you do it again. Because I'm going to use the forearm. Wow, that was a powerful strike. I cheap struck the sign off the window on the other side of the stadium. That's an interesting coincidence. We're going to pretend it was me.
it wasn't. I hadn't played with
Look at all the animals. I want to learn how to use my tea.
stuff.
That's a separate seminar. So I have yoga programs on my website for $50. Oh, no, being recorded.
Preview to the internal energy seminar.
Okay, so I'm going to go through with the hundreds or thousands of people who I swear here on it, just off camera, and I'm going to show them so they can feel the wrist release. So right, so now I can feel it. So I have that front wrist, right? Lift. I just lifted. I got 3. What else would happen in a wrist? And you're done. That's technique. So we stopped.
Too high for comfort.
Right. So for me, what that feels like, that I took 2 steps forward. Yes. You can see this here. This is good. This is different. So when I have my arm turned, my forearm here, that's a shield. It's that hand, so that hand, the right hand comes forward towards me, right? I have to step up. He's grabbed, he's got a different grab here. So then I would use so from here, right? We then have this motion, right? And you have it going. But hands. It's like a kick. I don't know what that would be. Right. So remember, you're going to keep your forearms, but nothing backward, but then keep that forward. And here, then you're, yeah. And then you do this kind of thing, but with my hand. Right near the pass. No. I don't remember. Yeah. The man just actually has some. So when you're being whipped, you can drag somebody over. Okay. All right. Forgot time. Sorry. So I'll just do the form. Field, come back, E,
That's your one.
fresh kick. Step off to the side, hook. Hook,
Yeah.
step forward into your jet.
Holy. Yeah.
All right. That's gonna be the snippet of the judo spell on the combat, the praying mantis one. Okay, next technique. I don't know what this is. Flapping a vein or tapping a what? Head turn. Right away. Which head turn am I gonna do? Am I not doing that one? I'm not doing that one. All right. So he throws like a punch and a jab or something. So here, right? Lower body open. Upper body is closed. I'm just on either side. So this would be the head turn, something like it, right? I need to go on this side.
Special.
Right, this is gonna come in. Put it over here, right? We have this, so he resists. The secret sauce on this one is to kick him in the face. But now hook, oops, go through. That works again? Wait. It's fine. Okay. So that kick is called the hoe kick. It goes through like that.
First time when you
You know. I know.
I just perked up.
So. Well, I get to this position here. I can go back in. Guru Daniel likes to do a rear snap kick. But here, right, the hook, you want to hook the head if you can. However you hook the head. And that would be that borrow balance because like my foot is like it, I would fall over. It's so awkward if there's a person there. That's an extra. You just do a head turn. You don't have to do that. Maybe they're being a jerk. Just kind of kick them in the face. You can do so one more time. It's 1, 2, here, right? I get this to work. He's not moving down. So I have. You can just kick him in the face, and then do a head turn. Use your foot. I think it's going under my elbow for some reason. Yeah. The mantis is going to use his feet as my feet, and it kind of uses that to sort of get away with stuff it probably should be able to. I'm doing an easy version of it. One more time if I do. 1, 2, 3, head turn. I can also use the bottom of my foot, so I can kick them in the face. Right? That's great. People like me. You get boost. It's better. So instead of doing the one where I pivot and hook, I can also put the back of my foot on top of his head. Okay, just be careful with this one. Don't. From here, it's tempting to just kick him in the back of the head. Try to get a feeling and get a push so you get some sort of like tactile sensation using your foot to move them. Okay, if you can't lift your foot that high, push their head lower. Right? Absolutely. Try that. Right, you hear that? Boom! I feel more compliant now. Yep. We're all about intuition and flexibility and think that's Silat. If I don't get my perfect seminar technique, no one's gonna remember. That guy's not gonna remember. But the important thing is that you do something that works for you. And the animal, all of this stuff is flexible. It can be customized to fit your own body type. Like I said, if you can't kick that high, you're gonna get more flexible. Good. Or you can push their head lower. You could always just do a basic head. Or you could use another version of the technique. Once you have you just need him, right? Gross body movement up to this point. Throw knees. Go crazy. The mantis thing is going to be using his roots And then that frees up my foot because I have 3 feet on the ground. There's 2 of them in my butt. Yeah, so we'll practice that. Off camera with all of these black belts that are over here. It's funny. Start black belt. So. Yeah, we're all black belts. You okay now?
I get easy now.
Is it? Okay. What do you want? What's in the leg? Huh? What's in the leg? Here for all the drills that we did, the tapping. Yeah, stuff. That stuff fits in with us, you know. Yeah.
And then in the face to make sure. Get up there, so.
There you go. Just do the head turn. I was like, you don't have to hook and pull through. I mean, I had trouble with Dr. Sobel's got a very aerodynamic. It just slipped right through. I can't always hook with my foot. But I mean, hopefully you can kick him in the face.
Yeah, a little more traction with the beard. Easier to
This is for fun, really, but the idea behind that, the tool of the hoe kick, just a hook. Drew Daniel also used it over here. Tempting knees. Okay, so if I do a front kick and you sort of catch it, the Guru Daniel will do things like this to pull foot back. I think he showed that during.
Yeah.
Like what happens sometimes when somebody pitches a kick, my knees, we're hopping around, I get turned around like this. That happens. And so the idea that trying to use that to free. Also here, I don't have sport applications, but if you throw the kick from one, I would say build a shield with my left, right? Counter that is one kick with the right. So that would be another shield to move back. Counter kick with the right. That's one. So with a man, but you usually get the seat. Yep. Like the down counter the opponent. And there are going to be different ways to use all of it. Any questions online? So far.
No,
Yeah. Are you able to practice in your little spaces?
yes,
Or wide open spaces? Or...
yes.
Okay. Good. If you guys have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask them after the seminar. So many techniques. Man.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah.
Which weapon is for Mantis?
Staff.
Really?
Staff.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like that. Your sticks are up here in the corner. Like sickle with the obvious choice for that.
No, sickle for tiger.
I think gravity also.
Grommets for tiger.
Yeah.
You can use
Mapping.
every animal with every weapon.
Yeah.
You don't think of
Yeah. It's already built into.
So if I strike with a staff, right? So it's so these movements, so they come and I reach forward. That's very Mantis-y. Is either going to staff? I said it wasn't going to. We're not doing much except for this. Except for this, I'll have to use this as a promo for like the 7 in quotation marks. Silat animal weapons. Okay, if we just click sticks together, like right, left, right, and I'll remember the drill. That one's okay. It's gonna come to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Let's and then come to try and surprise me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, I do it right sometimes. So this, and then here, this is going to come over, right? To pull through. I mean, how to blender. So that's a staff
That's a staff disarm. You strike downward. I strike downward. Oh, downward. Right. This step up line. Sorry, I hit his hand. And this is the umbrella or the roof block, right? So if you think of the mantis form, I can't remember what you was for. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I can feel where his feet are. So if he takes a step with his foot, because of that contact, foot like here. I know where his foot is. And so that kind of practice. Right. Under.
There's a lot of overlap there.
Anyway. Yeah, and what I simply said is probably true is that snake is the whip of the frog. Mantis is going to be the staff. Like when you think of these shielding motions, right? You can think of right. This is the staff. I'm blocking with the staff. You have your two hands together. It's not perfect, but we're not covering the weapons. We're very, very focused. We're just covering the empty hand part. I'll do the form. Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You notice the crouch I do is the anteater crouch. The mantis crouch is going to be a bit wider. The feet are going to be wider apart. Look at your day.
Straight leg or bent?
Bend. Yeah, like that. Yeah, my anteater crouch has my feet close together for stability, and my knees tucked in. But you have your foot out more because Stuart Daniel catching something with his foot. I'm just trying to stay on my feet. So I'm an anteater. Right? So I should tell these are motion archetypes, right? And people will drift naturally towards one or the other. The one that I drift towards anteater. So if I don't pay really close attention to what I'm doing, I'll just do anteater stuff. But with mantis, you're gonna have kind of straight back, canted forward. I roll forward because I'm an anteater and I use it to get extra power. But mantis is gonna have. It's weird to say that a bug has a spine, but it's got that. So when I move, when I come back like this, like there should be like a line between my leg and my back, so that your back, you should have a straighter back with the mantis. Because again, when you come forward, you're using the other person as a root. I have one more technique, which is going to be a counter to the head turn. As mantis, each animal takes up twice the amount of time as the previous one did. Alrighty, so do a head turn. Now we practice head turns. I'm going to show you a counter for the head turn rather than showing you the counter first, because no one will ever get a head turn again. You do a head turn. Okay. So it goes here. He pushes my head down. What I'm going to do? Flip it. And before. I think Daniel showed that one at the last seminar. To do a head turn. One of two annoying ways that students will get out of your head turns. You're trying to demonstrate it. The other one is to just move around like a different bird. Train has a counter for that counter, which we'll get to in the next 50 minutes. So we're just going to very quickly that head turn. What you're doing is you're just flipping your head under, stepping forward and shoving the ball in. That's I'll go through right with each. We're just going to practice it. I don't worry about it. I can forget. Better. Okay, down here. That's intermediate. Either to a head turn or shove. My knee shove. He is way twice as much as the first year. Head turns are fun. So you know how to get out. Any head turns. Hey, go practice each other. It's just bug out. Just fine. Oh. So for those of you online, when they're doing a head turn, they need to push your head down and lift your arm up to get that leverage to move you in a circle, right? That's the circling principle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a smaller circle with my head. So instead of going into a circle that turns me around, I'm going to slip under the arm if it'll let me. Yeah. And there's always a counter for a counter for a counter. But for this one, you're slipping under, and then once your head is free, you're going to step forward and you're going to shove with both arms to get them away from you. And that's one of the basic counters to the head turn.
Yay.
Very
Did you
good.
guys get it? Jeff, did you get that one?
Yes, got it.
You guys know all of this stuff already?
No.
Oh, yeah, a lot of it, but it's good refresher, and it also gives me insights and inspiration for other things too.
Okay, great.
Very
Glad
good.
you did.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So mostly I'm sharing things that I learned from Guru Daniel, from other people. So he's taught other people I know. So hopefully this stuff looks familiar. That means I'm doing it right.
You are.
Okay. Yeah, it's so annoying when they slip under it because like when you're learning how to do the head turn, like there's so many ways to get it wrong. There's so many ways to do the head turn. And then like when somebody gets, it's just super annoying when the people do this sort of thing naturally. And if you don't know the counters to the counters, it makes you look like an idiot. Which is awkward. It makes you look awkward, at the very least. So now we're going to go to Dragon, and we're going to learn a head turn that aims sort of prevent this counter from happening. Because when you slip, you can also duck under and attempt to counter grapple. And that's another way to counter. That's if they go high to grapple here, you duck low like an anteater, and you can do double leg or wrestling techniques can be used to counter with grappling. If you're going up against a good grappler, you'll find out that you're going up against a good grappler pretty quick once you try to wrestle with them. Like, no. So we have escapes and preventatives that you're best at what you train at. Dragon. So the dragon is going to have the ball, right? The hands for the dragon. When I did anteater, you're thinking of like a tongue, right? So for the dragon, I think of it like you're holding a mouse, and you're like left click, right click, like a computer mouse. The mantis is actually how I hold a live mouse. Drop a live mouse, I actually hold it using a mantis grid. Separate class. Okay. And then so you have the ball, right? So dragon is going to have these motions with circling, and your hands are going to be like around like a medicine ball or an orb, right? The earth, right? The dragon that encircles the globe. That sort of imagery. But the opening for dragon is going to be another wrist grab release. As we learn all of them that exist. There are more, sure. They definitely are. So the first part of dragon, you're bringing hands up like this. So you can think of it like the Imperial Eagle. That's Warhammer 40K reference. I know my audience. But this is another wrist grab release. And my hands are like this. Just like the exercise I do with my physical therapy with the band. When I do that, I'm going to sort of explode into a front stand. Force stance. So what I said about dragon is even its force stance is a double front stance. So you want to think about that projection forward with your front stance, but without leaning forward because I have a straight back. That's the first question. I showed our group that I didn't need to this one that blew up my ankle. You do it for an hour, but you learn. You learn. Okay. Then we're going to go to the right. We're going to block, check in the right front stance. Then we're going to pass, block, check, into left front stance. This is going to be kind of like the thriller. So if you remember mantis projected forward and used the other person's root
as its front legs, but dragon is going to use its front leg as a front leg. So it's a bit more conventional. It's just a front stance. So it's like you're holding on to something. You want to keep it right here in front of you. And that's the idea behind dragon, as opposed to the using it for romantic. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm not using the same forearm, although it's similar.
I see the transition again.
Yep. Right hand. This hand clears. This hand passes. I do 16 different transitions. I come through here, block, check. That's going to be a head turn, in case you were curious. I hear this is their head. I turn their head around. Next motion, I'm going to do an L step. Go here, here in the front stance. Elbow, right, and then circle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dragon is the longest form in the system. Rest of it. So I'm going to show you the shortest piece of it. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, stand yourself. You can kind of imagine Guru Daniel, just being how Guru Daniel moves. It's kind of his favorite.
Yeah.
It's one of the few gurus that were shown to us as a prearranged set that didn't change much between the two.
That says a lot.
Why prearranged it for an arrangement? Because can't have you.
I'm by that, honestly. I mean, that's fair.
At the time, you want to have wider stances. If you can. Wider front stance. More wider horse stance. More pronounced front stance. Crescent, right? Front. So I want to. Yeah, sure. So from here, you're going to overhook and wrap, and then you are going to spin around and drop the elbow. Maybe, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's one. I don't. Is it a 180 or 360? Yeah, and it's facing the same direction. Just want to add a bit of flair. Just overhook, right? You bring your feet together, or you bring this one like up, around, and around, and you land. And you drop the elbow down. There, I just give you a hint of the cardio of it. Not, you know, the green dragon form. Not a golden dragon. It's a green dragon. Okay, so from the beginning. Wrist grab. Horse stance. Front stance. Pass. Front stance. Elbow. Circle, circle, circle. Overhook. The next motion in the form, you grab, kick, grab, kick, Superman, and then go into a crouching shuffle followed by a jumping double ticket. Word. Picture with a word. But we're going to do grab release. It's fun. Full speed to the rest of the animals. This one's gonna be super easy. I'm gonna project like I did with Mantis. Come through, grab the thumb, turn the hand around, and then choke up like it's a baseball bat. That's again, right? Well, this when I do this, it gives me this kind of range of motion. If I don't do that, you just hold strong. I can't move my hands. I'm trying to get that. Yep. Yeah, invented grab. Double hand grab. Here. We're supposed to do this. Is this? Right. Here. Yeah. It says, yeah. Yeah. So the detail on that motion is from the hand grab. You're projecting forward. And then this hand's coming here to grab their hand. Right. And you turn this hand over. And then you apply a technique. And that's the close-up detail for the grab relay.
Excellent.
You can either get the fingers, you can get the wrist, the elbow, or the shoulder, depending on different variation. Drew Daniel covered this at our the Vermont seminar last year and earlier here in Baltimore.
Excellent.
They can ask him for more details. This is the part of the dragon right here. Clearly release and drop. Normally when you do the form, you bring your hands up and then out and then down. I like to add this detail to remind me of the grab relay. Yeah, but that's fine. Understand? This is going to pass, but you lose power about halfway through, so the other hand is going to take over and cover for the rest of the pass, right? And then you have this catch here, and then front stance on this side. You step forward into the elbow, circle, 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 oh, circle, circle. So you end up here, and you wrap over, and that'll go into the thing, which I'll show now. Technique time. Head turn. Okay, I can tell we're still fresh. Okay, awesome. Every technique has to be from the inside. That's fine. That's good. I'm trying to write a book where I do every this. Left, then right. 1, 2, 3. Right. Head turn. So here, when I was out here, he was able to flip. Okay, so when we're doing this head turn, we're going to come forward and drop our elbow. So he tries to slip down. Right, I've got my elbow blocking it. Okay, and then here, you can go through a normal head turn. Ooh. Yes. That was an opportunity. Your lead leg and roll over it. Oh. Alas. Yeah, I think he just snapped the limb deeper. I don't know. But it was an opportunity. It was a beautiful opportunity to practice. This is the important thing, right? This is that front stance, but the front stance where I'm holding on to something, not the Mantis front stance where I'm using his feet instead of mine. Different. Yeah. Front stance version. Tiger's going to do something different. This is my knee and his rib. Okay. Variations. So I get to here, right? He comes forward anyway. So I go into the guillotine and then I push through to get the head turn. So that one would be the wrap and then a punch forward. Okay. Got it. Anyway, this is and he comes forward. Here, I go into my hip, like you said earlier, and then I punch there to turn him. And then now that I have here, he's almost. Yeah, right. Maybe that
Some more.
Yeah. Okay, remember this one, you're in a front stance and you're blocking them with your forearm and your elbow.
This kind of counter.
But you're fixing and holding them in front of you. And this
Or
is
the counter grappling version.
This is to prevent them from slipping under your arm, like what we practiced earlier. Okay, practice that a couple of times. Pop quiz time. Which animal haven't I done that's not tiger?
Crane.
Crane. Thank you. Tiger and crane are left. Good job. You passed, Shiloh.
Woohoo!
I will mail you your black belt. You just have to send me $129.99.
You got it.
Way to
Wait,
go,
did
Shiloh.
you reach instructor, Shiloh? Where did you kind of leave off when you left Colorado?
Oh God. I'm pretty low in rank.
Really?
Uh-huh. I have rank in other styles, but not in Silat.
Oh, okay. I don't give rank on mine, but you've always seemed very sharp to me.
Why, thank you. I should probably like actually suck it up and start testing, but
I would love a trip to New Mexico. And
ooh,
We can arrange that.
I like this plan.
that would be nice. Are the two you guys are talking to each other? Is Carlsbad anywhere near where you are, Jeff, or like an
4.5
opposite?
hours. It's 4.5 hours south.
It's a weekend trip.
And that's going at full speed, I imagine. If it's like when I was in Southwest Colorado.
No, I can probably make it in 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
But the major airport is in Albuquerque, so I would probably go up to Albuquerque if you came out.
Y'all
Yeah.
can stay here at the house and I've got a dojo to train in.
That's all you need. Good setup here. So
Can
you
you
can't
do
see
it?
this, but Dr. Sobel is improvising with a fireman's carry throw, which is also very good.
We'll show why the
Nice.
dragon elbow is so important.
Can you show that on the camera? Sure. My lower back doesn't let me do fireman's carry throws anymore. Was somebody? No, I'm not gonna fire for authenticity. Do you guys ever actually carry people like that, or is it?
No, so what it is.
Right.
So when we actually drag people out of IDLH or out of, fire department, we drag them on the ground.
That makes so much more sense than lifting their head into the burning ceiling. Yeah.
Think about it, right?
Learn so much.
Naturally, like if a kid or a baby pulling out of a crib, your natural instinct is to cradle them, but if you cradle that kid and you carry them out like this, they're fucking roasted.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep them low.
Use some anteater action there. Okay. So you know the variation where the fireman's carry. Rear Daniel likes to do the fireman's carry also. I've had bruises on my bicep to prove it. And Brian will remember when I showed a fireman's carry throw using a sickle, which is not that's not PG-13. That's definitely not.
I like Richard Sola. She can step and hook good.
Right. Right up in there. Yeah.
The Sola just kind of hooks here. Meat.
Man, I love Silat.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna. I showed you two variations, right? I showed you the kind of counter grappling method, which if you're good at grappling, really counter grappling is just being good at grappling. Fixing them. So then Dragon has that ball, right? It's trying to fix something in front of it. You're trying to stop them from slipping and grab you. This is kind of the default. I think that when Steve Braun teaches this, that's the default attorney does, because their idea is to make that bridge just project straight forward. And then when I go into Tiger, I'm going to show you the option for if they're coming towards you. I think Tom, I explained this to you before with the two different head turns where you're going forward. But sometimes people do this. There's a place for that. It depends on like when in the sequence. Yep. So, Dragon. Now we're going to do Tiger. Tiger. With enough editing, like these are all given equal weight. So, the idea behind Tiger, again, the hands, you're going to have claws, right? So the way that the claws work for Tiger is you're going to try to bend the end digits of your fingers.
I've seen some people for tiger, they'll use fingernails. Our tiger does not use fingernails because human fingernails are terrible. They have not evolved to be clawing weapons, right? They're probably used for like fine. It probably makes sense that they're better for fine work. But I don't know about napping. I'm not going to get into that. That's a huge digression. Tiger, roar. It's going to use those fingers as hooks, and the real focus on tiger is going to be kind of pulling the person in close. Okay. Yeah. Dragon is circling. All right, tiger. We're going to pull in. So that's going to be the first movement. And also with tiger, when you strike, you're going to hit with like a paw. So it's going to be kind of a soft strike. And then you dig the claws in and retract. And that's going to be how the strike works. That's important for this work. So if you remember, like snake, it starts like this, right? So for tiger, we're going to do something similar, but different. There's going to be a split entry here, and pull in. This is a cat stamp, left cat stamp, and then right. So the right foot is now forward, left, right, and then sink in like that. Okay. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be very similar to what Steve Ron showed at our 3 Silat master. Plus, I can still 4. Get 4 people. I'll be upstairs. All right, and the next motion, we're going to curl our hand. We're going to go forward, right, claw, down. Was that like from this side? This side, curl, claw, and then claw, curl, this, and then this next part. 1, 2, I'm drifting my hands out so you can see that they're moving in to do this technique. Don't like, it's not the arm wheel. So. And then from here, you're gonna go to a front fold. Legs apart. And then go forward. And then we're gonna close with the trigger kick. Oh, maybe I should have saved that one for last. 1, 2. I'm actually doing these first order that I practiced them. If anybody can believe that. Up, down, curl, front fall. And when I do this, front fall again. Yeah. Tiger kick. Elephant kick. As they kick forward and then bring your weight forward. Any question? Okay, do it. Split entry, claw and retract. Right side, left side, grab, release, claw up, claw down, curl, crouch, out, up, go forward, kick, and then kick forward. If you're really good, combine those 2 kicks together. Okay, right. Only got one animal left. It's so tempting to train. But I'm going to give you the full. When I go, it's like it should make a little bit more sense. Good. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the principles. We go up here to the camera. Then I'm going to. So the strike that I mentioned earlier, open palm to soften things up, and then the fingertips dig in, and then from there you claw. Is that okay? I'm gonna take the nipple. So he grabs my wrists, right? So that this is in detail for the camera. We're gonna do this one. I promise you this one is coming with recurring. So I want to come up, right? So this is going to be the release. Again, I'm on the inside. So this was monkey, right? For tiger, this is the palm, claw, and then down. So if you doubt that, well, my brother doubted that one. So reenactment time. I believe it. So push me. He pushes me, right? I push him back. And then when these claws drag down, it's extremely uncomfortable. And it also sets up all that stuff for the lower body attacks. Draw off camera. Right? Okay. So here, right? And then so monkey did this. So with tiger, it's gonna be like that. Or if he grabs, right? This would be the claw up. Again, turning against the wrist. Right? Down. Oh, tiger also has that motion, but it wasn't in the form I showed you. So I got a full application technique, full technique. We're gonna pair this up with a head turn. So I get two birds with one. So here, right? I clear, good. And he comes forward towards me to grab it, right? And then from here, instead of doing this one, I'm gonna do the one where I move back. And then with tiger, I'm gonna use the cat stance to apply pressure on that arm. So rather than you can see a lot of videos of Pari now doing stuff on the ground. I'm gonna try to be different by showing that there's more to every animal. And I'm probably not as good as the one that does the tiger on stuff. But you can see you can use the same principle for cans. Most like if a lot of fights end up on the ground, most of them start standing up.
Yeah.
And I heard people say that if you go to the ground, you made a mistake. So try not to make a mistake.
What's the part of your plan?
Just be perfect. That's all you have to do. So one more time, grab, right? Clear, push, and forward. So this is moving off. You move this way. I take that to here, and I use this to apply the pressure to it. Do you guys see that okay? On the interweb?
Yeah.
Okay, go forth and maul each other. All you thousands of people.
Tigers, thousands of tigers.
I didn't to put it in the robot so you move to the robot. Yeah. Yes, you move forward. Okay, I will look better. Close to working better. All right. So Tom, so this is gonna be the back. So that's the way to stick there. There.
John Barlow's still going instead of the soccer kick. First voter was like, I just have to.
So this one, I moved back or forward. I follow this part. And you can see the hand on the back of your head. I did this, pull it, and then this. Okay. Pull. Then I'm gonna cover my mistake of grabbing. But that's the real. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Only thing keeping me safe is that.
Yeah.
That's part of the.
What would you do rather than the jump off of it?
The martial artist wants you to grab the wrist. Like a lapel grab. So guys.
For me. This is awesome.
That covered. Oh, and this. You're gonna straighten the limb out. Here in the back.
Okay, everybody back to that.
We would have,
Let's work on one more animal, man.
we'd have the fun little, hook kick on top of that, so when you have the arm part. Keep that bending to pop them up. Hook them, and you put them into the face.
No doubt.
Drop right on the neck.
You can do all of the ground stuff, but for that, just look up Silat Harimau and then it'll give you tons of ground stuff. I gotta, be in my market space.
So there was such a my exposure to the high mile, such a small part of it.
Mhm.
That they just seem to put real well understand.
Yeah.
But I get their market space.
Each of our animals, entire, it's not an entire martial art, but it encompasses striking, grappling, both standing and ground, as well as the weapons.
Right.
They're covering. The traditional healing practices are going to be used some of the animals, also like dynamic stretching,
Mhm.
sort of the physical therapy. Can't speak to that. I legally cannot speak to the effectiveness of that. There are traditional healing approaches that use the animal movements. So you have internal art, breathing, philosophy, weapons, and different categories of combat for each animal. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Monkey technique and you're trying to get the guy's heart beating and you start smacking him in the chest.
So if you imagine, like, dragon is very forward weighted, and then tiger is going to be very rear weighted. So the techniques for tiger and dragon are kind of set up to counter each other.
That's that coming.
And the weapon for tiger is the curved weapon, either the crombit or the thicket. And I may have mentioned this earlier, but the weapon for dragon is going to be the single-edged short blade, like the machete, the golem. All right. Brain. Easy. Easy down. Say that. So you have the split entry, right? Where the hands come together. We're going to take the ridge hand to the palm. So the hands for crane are going to be wings. We're not going to do so much of the crane beak type thing. I don't know how to do the crane beak thing. I just know that some of our artists call it a beak. We have wings because we're a bird. I don't know where the beak is, but the wings. So the strikes are going to be using like the ridge hand, right? The knife hand, and you're also going to have finger rakes like to the eyes. And you're going to strike also with the inside of the arm or this part or the outside of the forearm and kind of a shearing like motion. And the principle we're going to focus on is going to be leverage. So think a lot of standing arm bars with crane. Yeah. And leg straighteners, like the kick. Yeah. So the form, like I said, crane is going to be a balanced animal that balance on an unbalanced animal. We balance on one leg, either the rear leg or the foreleg. So if you think of a bird looking down, looking for its fish, we're going to perch on one leg. This foot's going to come circle in. Right, that's that leg trap. This hand is going to come in here. Right. This foot kind of slides inward up the leg, and then we're going to open. So when we open, this is going to open like this, and the foot is going to open. Your balance is good. I haven't been doing animals for 4 hours. Be able to get this perfectly. Come forward. Ridge hand. Right hand. So those are the first two moves. We're going to get the bow. That. And then now for the footwork, what we're going to do, block, check, strike with the same. So, and the footwork, we're going to be using something called deep stepping. When I turn my front foot out, slide my left heel to my right, pointed 45, right? I'm going to step forward, block, check, and punch in the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, this is gonna come down, so it's gonna come around, and then suddenly it gets complicated. So I'm invisible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for this one, this is like a wing called this one sleeping crane. It's like folding its wings around. So this is gonna overhook. The first is gonna come over like this, like an elbow. That is an elbow. It's gonna come in here. And so my center is here. So I'm gonna move offline by pivoting around the foot. So it's like this is gonna be basically a spinning back elbow. This foot's gonna plant on the toe. And then I finish it with a spinning elbow, a wrap, and then a shrug. Sleeping crane. Right? It's a lot of sleep. Very sleepy. For that part. Just remembering where my corner here is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Angle. I wonder. Anyway. Internal monologue. Easy. Do that. You've done that. You've done it before, not just over, right?
Oh, yeah, not think about that. Yes, it's just cannot think of hands and feet.
Coordination.
That was a right walk.
35 minutes.
That was the adding the chewing gum to the walking.
Black belt level animal form. Okay.
Stuff, easy stuff. Step before the punch or step after the punch?
I punch
Then step for the
and shield, turn the foot out, block, and pull. So the short movement is going to be just block, check, strike, right? But block, check, strike, turn, check, strike. So you add that extra footwork there, make it more complicated. Interesting.
on the line with
So
that.
this curl here and here. So it's kind of like a spinning back elbow. I'm going to show some applications for that. Clear. All right. Okay. Beginning feet. It's great because this is the last animal, so you're my gauge.
I'll put someone can
Get it. Get it. Okay. Anybody else? Do you want to do more grab releases, or do you want
whatever you got? Go with
we got like the arm, so go take it.
Perfect.
So, all right. Right. Hands are already now. That's great. So these are the wings, right? Basically a shrug, crane shrugging, right? Better. I mean, it's a grab release. Okay, but we didn't come here for simple grab. Crane can use a front or a back, which means it can use this off moving back and to the side as an off balancing mode. That's allowed. That's still great. Right? We don't have a yoke. So finally, we have the, the grab release coming from the outside. We've been waiting for it the whole time. So over here, and it's going to come to the side like that. Now, if I were Guru Daniel, once I had his arm extended, then it's like a prime opportunity for the wrist lock throw, which is my Taekwondo students know probably my favorite thing to try to do. Yeah, so. That's fine. Or. Right here, am I doing it right?
Okay.
So when I step behind, I get this, so I get the tension in his body. And then when I step behind with my foot. Right, that gives me the rotation. But you're an Aikido man, you're an Aikido guy, so
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Awesome. I'll have
Oh, training, but
I'll have to trick one of those, to do this guy. They like to be, it gets thrown hard, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that. Because I have arthritis in my neck now.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the one we're gonna practice first is just crane shrugging. There's a better name for that. Right, it's the easy one. The other one, 6-7, is to come over here and then pull him past you. And then rule number 1 for Bach is escape from advantageous angle. He's being thrown that way into a convenient window. Right.
There's not the drywall.
We were very far away from the end of the drywall.
Me every night.
Yeah. Hard to say for a young going to be thrown. You know, I don't need that AI. No.
I need one.
I don't want to do that.
Not all day anymore.
You need one for me. How about that? This one, right? And the center is open before he has time to repeat. Is that? That's fine. The more complicated one is looking to the outside, which, as you can see, didn't throw him a little off balance. Right, so here, this is part of the crane. Here. Drag him out.
Don't let go of the other.
Right, you can see the foot follows. Not expecting. This is the elbow. Yeah. If I don't have the wrist block. Kick him, elbow.
These arm drag them in the same throw.
Arm drag. You just repeatedly do. So, crane has the wings, right? It has this kind of motion. And I'm not too proud to say that I've used that. Drag somebody, it hasn't quite worked. They've reset. I just move and I drag them again. You end up kind of dancing around. So it's more like, it's kind of like I used it in the Randori when I hit judo briefly. It's move side to side to try and set up a throw.
Very Aikido.
So, friends got that going on. You practice.
It's kind of like that where you hold the ankle and pull it side to side of the house.
Yeah, it's exactly the same concept as that sport you throw. Okay, so practice the grab release with each other. And I'll show maybe one more technique. For the train, drag
Back out.
right here to work on your balance. Oblique kick and opening up. Okay. Forward,
Just fly down.
block, check, strike, step, right, elbow. Those are going to be like 4 or 5 minutes of crane form. We have 2 flavors of crane. Juris milivis, the short-necked crane, or the mud bird. It's not a duck. And then they have the long-necked crane, like the hare. So like I was talking about how the snake can either be a quick striking snake or it can be a constricting, a wrapping snake. You know, for monkey, you can be a squirrel monkey or you can be the great ape.
Lined up.
For crane, you've got kind of like a short waddling bird. A bird with like long wings and legs. So if you do this, you do similar movements, but it's like crane will extend a lot and it gets power from that extension of its wings.
Yeah.
And its feet. And then the short neck version is going to be very tight.
Versus.
And then if I use the long neck version, I'm gonna have much more extended movement. But it's a crane. If you right,
No kidding.
no. I'm sure I am into that.
I think so. Okay.
One more technique, one more head turn. Alrighty. Okay, so do a head turn. And I'm gonna do the annoying one. I hate it when people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna save the one that relax. Alrighty, so the right hand with here, so you just spin out of it. And the way to get this one is to follow it. And then you table them on your shoulder. And that's how that one works. See if I can get one that looks good. So the way so this is the wing, right? So I'm going to turn and use the ridge hand to guide the head through here, right? And then I step and I table them on my shoulder in this horse stance. And that's going to be the way, basically, you follow them through. Okay. And once they're tabled, then you have throws, or you elbow them, or you go through one of the tiki tactic sequences there. Whatever, I don't have that much time. Go through everything. Away. So follow me with your. Turn back to that. Yeah. That's where you're trying to get up. Oh, right.
Worse, there's a height discrepancy of the.
Sorry, next time. All my limbs. Yes. Ouch, yes, yes. Forehead. Keep it on. Fine. I'm good. Not the end. The camera's not recording my weekend.
And you made it. I mean, do the.
Right. All right, so that's all 7 animals. Yep. Who here? So who can name an animal?
Animal. Monkey.
Monkey. Okay, you're monkey. Somebody else is gonna go next. But you don't have to be on the camera. I'm gonna stop recording now. That's it. There. This rest part. That's just part of secret.
After the spin was roll.
You guys have any questions?
After the 360.
Yeah,
Roll.
it's a jumping knee.
Jumping knee. I love the jumping knee.
Yeah, the jumping knee is pretty fun. There you go. Oh, yeah. Please, please. There you go. Good. Same animal. That is a monkey.
Dragon, let's do that one.
Okay, you dragon.
All right. Forget it immediately now. It's
Can I watch this one?
Did you watch this one?
not gonna look good.
I don't care. Thank you.
Extra pressure. So it's the wrist grab release into the flying horse stance jump. That's the start.
Here.
Right front stance block check. Pass into left block check, left front stance. Step forward into a right elbow, right front stance. Circle wise. Your right arm should end up on top. Overhook and wrap. Yeah, this one. And then you just kind of just do a karate punch to your left. That's a good way to stop it. Nope. Which way is your left? With your right hand. You're punching with your right hand. Because you remember when you do the overhook, this is the head turn, right? You're passing your head here, so it's chambered at your hip.
And then when you do the karate punch, you're projecting, you're pulling and turning their wrist and projecting their head forward to kind of spin them around onto their back. Yep, your Daniel loves his karate punches. But it's a dragon thing. The fun stance. Not a karate punch. Crane, all right. So far we have monkey, dragon, and now the majestic crane.
Yes, I'm very majestic.
Graceful. Oh, you challenge yourself. That's good. You get extra points for that. I want to help Tom for helping me practice for the seminar to make sure that all of the techniques were coherent and that that I got the forms consistent. Because in a Dionbach, you have different levels of each form, right? And one of the things is to be able to do a prearranged. The basic level is to do a prearranged set of motions the way your teacher told you, and that's not where my lessons started. So I want to think like being able to teach this has been very useful for me too, because I'm very proud that I did almost the same thing every time. And that is definitely a training habit I'm trying to get in the habit of. Thank you. I appreciate all the help that you guys give me. Your animal.
Tiger.
Okay, tiger. That's brave. That's one of like the 5-minute animals that were crunched in at the end.
I remember that.
Kitten with a ball of yarn. Meow.
This is where
Flaw, front stance, or front fall. Sorry. Very good. Nice. Yeah, the elephant kick is is in the tiger form, just like the gecko kick is in the crane form, and it's a front kick from lying down that you use to get back up. But I only showed that in half of them. I'm not perfect. Alrighty. Another animal. Anteater. Good. That one hasn't been done yet. And recording back on. When I have the video of me doing the form, I'm just going to cut in the way that you walk on the ground and then pretend it's like a stunt double. Cut. Quick cut. No one will notice. Okay, got 3 more. Mantis hasn't been done yet.
Don't remember Mantis, I'll try.
We have mantis, snake, and one other.
No, I think we've never.
Yeah, and you've done 4 so far. We just did the 4th one.